Okay, good morning everyone. This is GP and with me Shashank, and today we'll be discussing CAT 23 slot 3 paper ka quant ka section, the QA section of CAT 23 slot 3. The idea is again to help you understand how the paper should have been done, kaun se sawal karne chahiye the, which question you should not have attempted and which ones you have attempted and why. Okay, and so the focus here is not so much on solving. Yes, solution baat karenge, we'll talk about jugaad also. But the focus will also be on choosing the right question to him, because paper आपका 40 मिनट का, you have 40 minutes for this section, 22 सवाल है, 22 questions, and you need to pick the easy ones and attempt them rather than get stuck with the difficult. So we'll focus on which questions to attempt, how to attempt both of them. Yeah, Shashank.
So basically, when I saw the paper of 2024, it was mainly the skill of leaving a question rather than solving it. You need to figure out at what time you need to leave a question, because a lot of questions were there that were looking like that they are easy, you can solve them, but they were taking a lot of time in the exam. So this is not a game of concepts. This year it was a game of your practice of leaving questions. So basically, if you are not strategizing the things during the exam under pressure, then more likely you won't be able to attempt more than 6, 7, 8 questions. So that's where it made a lot of difference. The paper was lengthier as compared to the previous years, not difficult.
And lengthy का मतलब क्या है? When you say paper was lengthy, it meant ये calculation unnecessary करा रहा था. The question which would have been over in 2 steps, उसके लिए 2 steps extra मांग रहा था. Some complication was created in the question which made it a little more lengthy. Okay, so that is something which we need to be clear about. दूसरी चीज, I'm sure many of you would have heard about this thing कि paper खराब था, मुश्किल था, ये सब था, बकवास है. ठीक है? And on the other extreme, you will also hear from people, paper was very easy. देखो कितनी आसानी से सवाल हो जाते हैं. After the paper, every question looks easy. It is during the paper how you are able to handle it. And which is why when you look at CAT in general, quant, if you are getting a 50% score, you have typically done a very good job of the paper. And 50% score, कोई ये नहीं कह सकता बहुत high score है. Percentile terms में yes, but in raw marks it is not a great score. So let's get started. Okay. Yeah. So we are looking at this section of QA. Okay. जिसके अंदर 40 minutes like any other section, and it had 22 questions and 66 marks. In fact, this has been the pattern for the last 4-5 years now. Okay. ये important है तुम्हारे लिए, ये देखना. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Look at the 99 percentile score. Okay. As far as quant is concerned, okay, it is 99 percentile. Okay. Which means 28 marks, roughly 10 questions. And ये का मतलब ये भी होगा कि you can attempt only 9 questions and get all 9 right, you will be just around 99 percentile. So net questions 10 means 12 किए, 2 गलत हो गए. That kind of a score is what we are looking at. Okay, or maybe 11 and 2 wrong is kind of thing you are looking at. Okay, so that's what it is. But इसमें critical चीज जो है, मैं एक दो चीज और highlight करना चाहूँगा, ये तो. Okay, and चलो ये भी ले लेते हैं. Okay, yeah. When you look at this part, इसमें क्या पता चलता है? 4 questions, you clearing the sectional cutoffs. Overall 5 questions, you are getting a 90 percentile, which means you are very, very safe now. So by no stretch, so when people say देखो 4 सवाल 5 सवाल में 90 percentile आ रहा है, so it is difficult paper. No, this has been the trend of CAT, and we'll talk about it. Yes, Shashank.
So basically, even if I assume it is a lengthy paper and it was very difficult, अगर आप कोई भी क्वेश्चन उठा लो और उसको करना शुरू कर दो, even if you will take 6 minutes, 7 minutes, in 40 minutes you are easily able to do 5 questions or 6 questions. So if you know your concepts well, then reaching at this point and this point will not be difficult. The problem is going to start when you are trying to reach here. अगर हम यहाँ पे पहुंचने की बात कर रहे हैं तो हमें strategize करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी, ये बात ध्यान रखना है. लेकिन if you are very thorough with your concept, you have practiced a lot, then this is definitely not a big deal. क्योंकि 4 क्वेश्चन 5 क्वेश्चन तो बहुत छोटी बात है कैट में करना. एक कंडीशन के साथ कि you know to leave a question after 5-7 minutes अगर आपका आंसर नहीं आ रहा है तो.
एक चीज मैं हाईलाइट करना चाहूंगा, ये एक क्वेश्चन कर लोगे तो ऑलमोस्ट 50 परसेंटाइल पे आ गया. यानी 50% ऑफ द पीपल हु टुक कैट डिड नॉट इवन गेट वर एबल टू गेट ओनली 1 or less than 1 क्वेश्चन राइट. ओके, so पेपर की कोई खास बात नहीं है. And again, all of this data, everyone says the data which proves that the paper is difficult, and we'll show it to you. if you were doing the paper the right approach, willing to attempt the right question, and willing to leave the right questions, this was not a difficult part.
And Pranav, what you have said in the first 20 minutes, you have already reached 90 percentile. Now that's a good job you have done. कि getting 4 questions right in the first 20 minutes, उसके बाद तो बस ऊपर ही ऊपर जाना है.
हाँ. अब ये देख लो, you now look at this one, which is the CAT. Trend over the years. Don't worry about 18 or 19. Okay? Let's not worry about 18, 19. Why? Because these were papers which were 3-hour papers, 1 hour per section. 2020 onwards, it's a 2-hour paper, 40 minutes per section. Now look at this in each of these papers. Let's look at 99 percentile. Okay. And when I'm looking at this, also remember these are 22 questions.
And I would also
this was 26 questions. This was 2020 is 26 questions. 26 into 3 is 78
marks.
Okay, so let me just write it down. This is 78 marks. These are all 22, so these are 66 marks. Okay. Now look at this. This is 50%. This is 40% se bhi kam hai, actually. This is less than 40%. Okay. This is again 50%. This is maybe about 52%. Okay. And this is again 40, there's about 55% on the higher side. So if you look at the trend of CAT, 50% by and large will give you somewhere around 90%. That is what you need to remember. और आधा पेपर ढंग से करना बहुत अच्छी बात है. And if you can get the score of 60%, okay, you are here. Each of these is less than 60%, 66%, 60%. Sorry, okay. So please remember, this is not the paper only of solving or knowledge. There is a paper of temperament. There's a paper of your ability to handle the situation in terms of leaving the right question, in terms of attempting the right questions. Yeah.
I always tell people that quant generally becomes very difficult because it is the third section of the exam. The first you have spent a lot of time in VA, second you have spent a lot of time in DILR, and the third section is QA. So you are already very tired when you are writing the quant section. So लोगों को लगता है कि मैंने इतना पढ़ा है तो मैं इतने क्वेश्चन तो कर ही लूंगा, मुझसे 15 क्वेश्चन आते हैं. But most of the times what happens, people underperform in quant section. They know a lot of questions. So basically they think of attempting 15 questions, 16 questions, 17 questions. But remember, it's a third section. You are already tired. तो यहाँ पे टारगेट ये होता है. इसीलिए क्वांट में अगर आप पेपर भी इजी बना के दे दोगे तो भी 90 परसेंटाइल जो 99 परसेंटाइल है वो कभी 50% के ऊपर नहीं जाता. लोगों को लगता है कि पेपर आसान है तो भी लोग बहुत हाई स्कोर नहीं जाते.
हाईएस्ट इन सालों में देख लो ये है. Okay, there is in fact 55%. Even look at 18-19. 18-19 को एक मिनट ले देख लेते हैं.
102 marks का.
These were 102 marks papers. 34 questions, 1 hour, 102 marks. 60%.
This is 50%.
This is 50%. ठीक है, आसान पेपर में 60% चला है, मुश्किल में 50 आ जाएगा, but that is the reality of this paper. Okay. Now इसमें जो है अभी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं उसकी कनेक्टिंग एक क्वेश्चन है, so I'll pick that question up इसमें कि should I go only by arithmetic because I'm good at it, because arithmetic पे हो जाएगा? नहीं, बेवकूफी है. तो मैं कैसे मालूम arithmetic easy आएगा? How do you know you'll get easy question of arithmetic only? One of the things you need to remember that there's no guarantee of what will be the difficulty level of the question in each of these areas. Secondly, when are you going to take CAT? You will take CAT in November of 2026. And right now we are sitting on 1st of March. You have ample time in front of you. यार अभी 8-9 महीने पहले ही decide कर लोगे, you're being stupid. You need to say I will do everything, and that the decision of what to attempt, what not to attempt, which topic or concept to worry about and not attempt is a decision you take in October, November, not now. If you are taking that decision now, then you are harming your preparation. Don't confuse preparation strategy with test taking strategy. You are mixing the two of them. They will create a problem for you. So बिल्कुल गलत चीज करोगे अगर ये चीज करोगे तुम तो. Okay. So
Pranav has asked at what score you can get 99.9 percentile. So I can tell you my score. I got 54 marks in 2022 and I got 99.97 that year.
Okay.
And so that was close to
the 99.9, 100 percentile, 99.95 and or 99.9 and above is a question of luck also, I would say. वो एक question तुमसे miss हो गया, one question you got it wrong, or one question जो सही होता तो गलत कर दिया, anything can happen. So don't worry about looking at a 99.99 or 9 or whatever. The basic rule has to be, I'll pick up those questions that I know how to solve and worry about them. Okay. And if you look at the breakup of the papers, okay, one of the things again, and this is probably something which was prompting, किसने बोला था, हाँ, connecting 90, okay, जो स्टूडेंट कहा था कि should I do only arithmetic, शायद ये data उसको बोल रहा है, because irrespective of which paper you talk about, you will find that arithmetic has the highest number of questions. Arithmetic and algebra, every year you will find has the highest number of questions, including 21. Okay, so when you're looking at out of 22 questions, 15 here, out of 22 questions, 16, out of 22 questions we are talking about, again, let's say 8, 8, 16, and 9, 8, 17 out of 22, 17, 15, 16 out of 22, and this is about 17 out of 26. This is 14 and 12, 26 out of 34. Irrespective of whichever paper you talk about, 70% of the questions come from here. So these are 70% of the questions, but the degree of difficulty, we don't know. It is possible some of the questions from here might be very easy. So मेरा काम topic में फंसना नहीं है, which is why I said, if you are trying to think कि अभी मैं decide करके I will leave everything else, do only arithmetic, then you are being stupid. Don't do that. Prepare for everything. At the end, if you are not able to do anything in a particular concept or question type, then they will worry about it. The bottom rule being, irrespective of which the topic is, irrespective of which is the topic, you should be able to answer the easy question in every topic. Okay, ये ground rule लेके चलते हैं. Okay, sure.
So basically, if you see arithmetic का अगर आप देखो, so this is the bifurcation of arithmetic. What are the topics that we, when we say arithmetic, then what are the topics we are talking about? If you see overall 159 questions we had from 2020 to 2025. Time, speed, distance, time and work, this. So basically, if you look at the weightage, that is close to 40%, and that is a huge weightage for this. But problem agar aap dekho, so if I talk about specifically 2025 or 2023, the questions from arithmetic were difficult and the questions from algebra were also difficult. So किस topic के questions आसान हो सकते थे? That GP sir has talked about these topics. So इन topics के जो question हैं वो अगर आसान आ रहा है तो आपको करना है, लेकिन एक बात ध्यान रखिए, केवल arithmetic और algebra के basis पे you cannot expect to get a 99 percentile or 99.5 percentile.
इसमें ना I like to add one more thing. We say arithmetic has 40% weightage, but look at the number of topics within arithmetic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On an average, each topic is giving you roughly one question. ठीक है, ये 1.67 को 2 ले लो, 1 ले लो, 1 ले लो. Roughly, you are getting one maximum 2 questions from every topic. And when we say time, speed, distance से एक दो सवाल आएंगे, it is not time, speed, distance has only one concept. Time, speed, distance itself has some 5-6 different concepts. So it looks good कि arithmetic कर लो, but remember arithmetic is huge area, and irrespective of which topic of arithmetic you are picking up, you will get roughly about one question per topic, okay, and which is not very different from others. Algebra देखो, same, 35%, okay, on an average roughly one question per topic, 1.5 question, and how many topics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and within them there will be subtopics also. So it looks very good to say do only arithmetic, do only algebra. Remember, it is arithmetic and algebra have a huge scope, and the syllabus for them, if I can use the word syllabus, is huge. Okay. Yeah.
Same I'm going to say about geometry. Geometry, if you see, that is average of 3 questions. If I'm going to talk about last 3 years or 4 years, there is a standard of 3 questions every year. The triangles is the most important topic that has given 15 questions, and coordinate we did not have a lot of questions, only 10. Then polygons, then quadrilaterals. So again, बात ये है कि अगर lines and angles की बात करें, so this is not a topic, but can you skip it? You can't, because lines and angles is something that creates everything you are doing here. So there are some topics that you are not going to need anywhere, but they build the base of every topic. So lines and angles is important, you have to learn thoroughly. Then area and volume, that is 3D. So again, if you are going to see on an average, you have half questions from this topic. Agar geometry mein dekhe, so if you are getting a easy question जो बहुत साथ साथ visible है कि ये आसानी से होगा, so basically you should be able to solve those questions. If there is a very technical question या फिर उस question में हम बात करें कि construction की बात है, so basically those kind of questions are going to be very difficult. So just leave those kind of questions. Number system, again, if you are going to see on an average 2 questions.
And here I want to spend a couple of minutes. Number system seems to be the favorite topic of many teachers. Okay? And this is my biggest problem with the CAT coaching is people spend a lot of time on number system. So मालूम है number system इतना ज़्यादा क्यों पढ़ाया जाता है? Are you aware why number system is taught more than any other thing? Because as a faculty, I can show you large number of tricks. मैं जादू दिखा सकता, I can show you how good a faculty I am if I spend more time in number system. But from a paper perspective, it is 2 questions. Okay? If you're looking at it over the last 6 years, 2020 to 25, it has given you only 35 questions. It is 2 questions per paper on the higher side. So why should I spend 20% of my preparation time? So please be aware that your preparation, ये slide, ये chart दिखाने के 2 reasons हैं तुम्हारे को. One, you see what is the breakup, but secondly, more importantly, also understand what is the amount of time and the number of questions that you are likely to get from each of these areas. Okay, so if you are not aware of this, you will end up making your life difficult. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So please get used to saying that I am going to prepare as per the requirements of the paper. कोई topic इतना ज़्यादा मत करना कि it becomes completely useless for you.
Again, if you look at the teachers, they spend a lot of time in remainders, Euler's theorem, Wilson theorem, Euler's quotient, सब पढ़ा दो. We never had a single question from 2020 to 2025 on Euler's theorem or remainders.
Now, उसकी ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. Actually, if you look at it, you can solve those questions without all those stupid theorems. Okay, so this is just a percentile graph, and effectively the same thing. I think this is an easier thing to understand.
So again, the most important value is this and this. So these 2 values, I would say these 2 numbers are most important. Why? Because majority of the colleges have sectional cutoff as 80 percentile. मतलब कुछ भी करो, if you want to get into IM and you are solving less than 4 questions, it means you are not going anywhere. Again, some colleges, for example, I am Lucknow, SPJN, they have a sectional cutoff of 85 percentile. So अगर आप I am Lucknow और या उस SPJN की बात कर रहे हैं, then if you are solving less than 4 questions, even if you are scoring 100 percentile in VA, 100 percentile in LR, you are not going anywhere. So these 2 numbers are extremely important. This is what you need to remember.
And this is with respect to CAT 25 paper. Okay, so there is a scaling for that. And again, just to remind you, 99 percentile was at 10 questions, 28 marks. 99.5 percentile, 31 marks, roughly 11 questions. Okay, so 11 करके एक गलत कर दोगे तो भी काम चल जाएगा. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now this is a very, very, very important graph, and this is something that you need to understand, and this is where the crux of the problem is. Okay, let me just explain the graph first, and then we'll go deeper into it. The bar chart is giving you the accuracy. And the shaded region gives you the attempt percentage. Okay. Now, I want you to look at question number 1. Attempted accuracy, question number 1 has an accuracy of how much is 73%?
73.
Okay, 73%, 72 लिख देते हैं. But what is the attempt? 25%. क्या मतलब हुआ इसका? This was a very easy question that most students did not attempt because students possibly felt शायद ये वो होगा ना कि arithmetic algebra नहीं होगा तो लोगों ने छोड़ दिया होगा. But the point is 25% people have done, but 3/4 of them almost have got it right. 18 out of 25 people are getting this question right. This was an easy question. Everyone should have attempted this. This was a big miss by most of the students. Let me go to another question. Let me come to this. Question number 9. Okay, look at question number 9. What is the attempt?
Close to 70.
70% attempt. question 9 is attempt of 70% and accuracy
is
35%.
38%, right?
क्यों attempt किया यार? Why did you attempt this question? 1/3 of these 70 people got it right. This was a question should not have been attempted. Similar thing you'll find here also. Look at this question 21. Low accuracy, very high attempt. Look at this also. Much higher attempt of more than 40%. Okay. Similarly, look at
question number 12 as well.
Question number 12. Low accuracy, very high attempt of upwards of 50%. Similarly, look at question number 4. 55% attempt, 20% accuracy. Now, इससे क्या पता चलता है? तुम लोग चुन चुन के मुश्किल सवाल उठाते हो. Your job is to look at the question, understand it fully, and then decide whether to do it or not. And you do it if you know how to solve it, if you know exactly what is to be done, if it's an easy question for you. If it's a difficult question, you should not be. This is the data which is telling you that most of the students are making a mistake while attempting the paper because they are trying to attempt every stupid question that comes their way and not willing to leave questions. As Shashank ne bola tha na, there's an art of leaving questions is the critical part of your preparation. Yeah.
So again, if I'm going to see this,
yeah,
the green ones, if I look at the green ones, केवल यही एक क्वेश्चन है जो बहुत लोगों ने अटेम्प्ट किया. Apart from that, if you see in green ones, attempts are low. If you look at this, attempts are not very high. If you look at this one, attempts are not very high. तो जो आसान क्वेश्चन है वो जानबूझ के छोड़ दे रहे हैं.
And again, if you look at this paper, people say difficult or whatever because that was one of the things that was going on. How many are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 90%. If you would have attempted as a student only these 5 questions, you would have got a 90%. Okay? And uske alawa jo hai, which are the next lot of questions you should be attempting, these ones. These are the medium level of difficulty. Green is easy, red is difficult, yellow is the moderate. How many are the moderate ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 5 easy questions, 6 medium questions, medium and easy with respect to the percentage attempt and accuracy. And if you do only these 5 and 6, you have done 11 questions. And what was 11 questions?
99.5%.
This was it. So please understand there's an art of taking the paper which you have to apply, but don't mix up that art of paper taking with the art of preparation. Preparation has to be coverage, everything. Har topic ka easy cheez aani chahiye. Paper taking, leave the difficult question, focus on the easy ones. Yeah.
And there is one most important question that people ask. Okay, how will you figure out ke paper aasan hai? Which question to solve, which not to solve? So again, that comes from leaving a question. That is, agar aap difficult question ko jaldi chhod nahi pa rahe, then you are never going to reach. If you had this order of paper, right, then if you are unable to leave these questions in 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes, then you are never going to reach these questions. That's the problem. So you need to master the art of leaving. Ye important hai.
इसके साथ में I will say another thing which we need to remember. Okay, what is round 1, round 2, round 3? I'll explain along with this part. Okay, so what we had suggest is, first of all, people find when you start taking a paper, you want to rush, you want to go through it fast. जल्दबाजी नहीं करनी है. Don't rush through anything. You have ample time. Okay, so your job is to read the question carefully. And if you find it easy, attempt it. If you find it difficult, leave it. That is what is. But the critical part is you should not try to save time by reading the question fast. Second thing you need to remember, you should not try to calculate fast or solve the question fast. If you read fast, you will have a lack of comprehension. You will not understand the question at all. So question समझ नहीं आएगा, lack of comprehension होगी. If you solve fast, it will lead to errors, calculation mistakes, process mistake. A plus B की जगह A minus B कर दोगे. Square root of 16 is 4 plus 4 and minus 4. You'll forget about minus 4. So if you solve fast, you make errors. If you read fast, you don't understand the question. Both the things have to be avoided. And this is where most students make a mistake. In trying to attempt a larger number of questions, you tend to read fast, you tend to try to solve fast, and hence you keep on making mistakes, and in any case, you are not able to attempt large number of questions. Okay. Now, this is what we need to remember. So your job is to do the paper in 3 rounds. These are my easy questions. These are my medium questions. These are my difficult questions. It is possible iski bari nahi aayegi round 3 ki, but does not matter. So what you do is, you read the question comfortably. If you understand what is to be done and you know exactly what is to be done, do the question immediately. If you are not sure about what to do with it, leave the question for round 2. Because you have understood, you know what is to be done, but you are not 100% sure, leave it for round 2. So these are questions which I can instinctively say कि यार ये हो जाएगा मुझसे. These are the questions which I say, हाँ, maybe I may or may not be able to solve. What are these? ये तो औकात के बाहर है. So within my औकात, possibly within my औकात, outside my औकात is the way you need to look at these things. But for each of them to take the decision करना है कि नहीं करना, भैया पहले सवाल तो पढ़ना होगा. Okay, and this is what you need to do. So this is a skill which you need to develop for yourself. And okay, round 1, easy questions. I'm sure of solving in less than 3 minutes. Okay, why 3 minutes? In 40-minute paper, if you can do 13 questions, which is 3 minutes per paper, and even if you get 1 or 2 wrong, you will still have a score of about 30. That is what we're looking for. Okay. And why is 30 important? We have seen the data, about 50% marks पे, 45-50% marks पे, 99% आ जाता है, so that's good with us. Okay. Round 2, these are questions which I am sure of solving, or I'm not sure of solving, but I'm sure it will take me 4-5 minutes. Okay. So शायद पूरी तरह समझ नहीं आया, I need more time to understand, or समझ आ गया, but I know it will take me time to solve. Either way, it is a round 2 question. It's not a question I will do now. So what I'll do, I come across a question, it is easy, I solve it. I come across a question which I think is a round 2 question, mark for review. जब फुर्सत होगी बाद में आपके देखेंगे. Round 3 ये तो कहीं नहीं है मुझे, ये तो औकात के बाहर है, क्यों कोशिश करूंगा. So as far as I am concerned, I am only worried about round 2 and round 3. I am only worried about easy questions and medium questions. I don't want to waste my time into any of the difficult questions.
I go with I take a little different approach. I do round 1, round 2, round 3, but in a little different manner. What I do, the first thing I do is I open my question paper and I start reading the questions to single line ke. So single line wala question, if I'm going to read a question that is of single line or 2 lines, that is faster to read. So it is easy for me to generate a comprehension ki ye hoga ya nahi hoga. So I solve it, and if I think it is lengthy, then I'm going to leave it for later. Then I'm going to, if I feel it is difficult, so 1 line का question आपको बहुत जल्दी clarity दे देता है कि ये करना है नहीं करना है. So I am going to solve this. So once I have gone with all the questions, then I am going to read all the questions that are a little lengthier, 4 lines, 3 lines, इसमें लिखा हुआ है. Then again I solve the easy ones. Then I am going to come to round 2. So this is how I approach. But again, the most important, what I do or what I think sir also does, that is open the question paper. So when you are opening the question paper, you are going to read a lot of questions simultaneously. आपने पहला पढ़ा judgment आपने बना लिया, दूसरा पढ़ा judgment बन गया. So basically that's how you can read more questions in lesser time. This is what I think it should be done.
Yeah.
Again, these are the most important questions. ये important है, ये दोनों तो हो जाएंगे, ठीक है. I am worried about these. So we are talking about next 7 months, 8 months or 9 months. So remember this, you don't need to work on these. ये तो आप पढ़ ही रहे हैं. You need to work on these questions. ये decide करना 30 सेकंड से 1 मिनट में कि मुझे आगे इस क्वेश्चन को attempt नहीं करना है. That's what your job is. That's what skill is.
Okay, chalo. Okay. So when you look at the Stat 25 slot 3 paper, this is a kind of this tells you what is the paper all about. Okay. Now the critical thing. Okay, let me just put it this way. Number system had 3 questions, 2 easy and 1 tricky. I'll say there were 2 round 1 questions, and 1 tricky could be round 2 or round 3 depending upon your understanding. Okay. Similarly, averages, I would say moderate. I'll put it round 2 questions. Okay. So 2 round 1. This is 1 round 2. Okay. Let me put it. Round 1 यहाँ लिख देता हूँ, round 2 यहाँ लिख देता हूँ. Okay. Do at best 1. This is moderate is round 2. Okay. 1. Profit loss, very lengthy question. So that means it is either round 2 or round 3. Okay. So if it's a profit loss है, लोग शौकिया तौर पे पक्का करना चाहेंगे, but whether it should be done or not would be if it is very lengthy, maybe it is not worth solving, but it is either round 2 or round 3. Okay, I'm putting it in round 2/round 3 together. Okay, geometry, one easy, one moderate, one difficult. So 1, 1, 1. Okay, function both moderate, so 2 are here. Logs lengthy, 1. Time series is 1 lengthy, 1 easy, 1, 1. Ratios lengthy, 1. Allegation tricky question, so I'll put it here. Time and work, 1 easy and 1 lengthy, 1 easy and 1 lengthy. I'll put it here. Then we have this miscellaneous very lengthy, तो इसको यहीं पे डालेंगे या round 3 पे भी हो सकता है. Some of these round 2 questions effectively become round 3 questions. Okay. Indices and surds lengthy. Okay, so 1. Linear equations tricky, 1. Series moderate, I'll put it here. Either easy or difficult. Okay, so yeah.
मतलब अगर क्लिक करेगा तो तुरंत हो जाएगा, नहीं तो फिर.
Now look at this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. ये 7 पहले कर. These are 7 round. These 7 are my round 1 questions. The others are my round 2 or round 3 questions. And some of them, based on your understanding of the topic, could become round 3 or could remain as round 2. Okay. So and again, look at this part. Those who said we will go with only arithmetic, for example. How many easy questions in arithmetic? अगर मैं नंबर सिस्टम को चलो हटा देते हैं, नंबर सिस्टम को उसमें नहीं इंक्लूड करते. एवरेज इज दिस इज अरिथमेटिक. टाइम स्पीड डिस्टेंस अरिथमेटिक. दिस आई विल टेक अरिथमेटिक अगेन. टाइम एंड वर्क अरिथमेटिक. या 1 2 3 4.
नहीं वो तो
नंबर सिस्टम है.
दो ही है.
Only 2 easy questions in arithmetic. This is what makes it. But as compared to that, where are the other easy questions? Yeah, series, set theory. Geometry was an easy question. So if you have to look at this paper, you have to remember that end of the day, I have to make sure that when I'm preparing, I'm doing a complete coverage. Depth चाहे सादा ना हो, लेकिन horizontal coverage सबकी होनी चाहिए. I should be comfortable all topics. There will be topics in which I'll not be able to handle the difficult question, but easy question of every topic I should always be able to handle. Okay. So with this, we'll start looking at the questions and we start solving them. And for every question, we'll also tell you हमारे हिसाब से वो round 1 था कि round 2 था कि छोड़ने वाला सवाल था. And that may not agree with what the students have done. Okay, because many times when students do a paper, they don't focus on the question. They're just worried about solving question fast and then end up making mistakes. Okay, chalo, let's get started with this paper. First question. First thing, look at this part. Only 24% attempted and 72% accuracy. This was a miss. What this is telling you is a आसान सवाल था, लेकिन अधिकतर लोगों ने मिस कर दिया. Okay. 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 4-digit number greater than 1,000. Sum of the digits in the thousands, hundreds, and tens places is 15. Sum of digits in the hundreds, tens, and unit place is 16. Also, the digit in the tens place is 6 more than the digits in the units place. The difference between the largest and the smallest possible value of the number is what? Now, ये सवाल जो था देख के पता चल जाता है, केसेस बनाने पड़ेंगे. 4-digit number. So I have units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, how many cases will I need to make? I'll start checking the cases. What have I been given? I've been given that the sum of these 3 digits is going to be 15. And the second thing I've been given is sum of these 3 numbers is going to be 16. Third thing which is given is the digit in the tens place is 6 more than digits in the units place. So if this is 0, this will be 6. 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9. अब उसके आगे क्या केसेस तो बनाने हैं. 0 plus 6, the sum of first 3 digits is 16. So what should this be? This should be 10. Not possible. We need a digit from 0 to 9. What will be 7 plus 1? 8. 8 and 8, 16. Okay. 8.
10. So this should be 6.
8. 10.
This should be
6 and 4. Okay. Now, let's look at this part. The sum of these 3 digits has to be 15. Okay. That
8,
means
7,
8 and 7, 15. That means this is 0. So this case is also gone. So 2 cases gone. 8 and 6, 14 and 1, 15. 9 and 4, 13 and 2, 15.
This is the
What do we need to do? Find the difference between 2, 4, 9, 3 and 1, 6, 8, 2. अब please solve मत करना. Look at the choices. One of the mistakes which students do is they don't look at the choices. Can I not say the difference will be around 800? This should be the answer. You could have also said the unit digit has to be 3 minus 2, 1. Only one number has a unit digit of 1. So calculate पूरा करने की आवश्यकता नहीं होती है. You don't need to do a complete calculation. You are willing to look at the choices. And that is another mistake which shouldn't do. Now, why does it have such a low attempt percentage? लोगों ने कहा ये तो permutation combination का सवाल है, पता नहीं कैसे करना होगा. People left an easy question because they assumed it to be permutation combination and they were not willing to read the question comfortably. Okay, this was a round 1 easy question which has been missed by 3/4 of the population who took this paper. Okay,
and I think there is one other reason when people have seen this largest and smallest possible number, so they thought there are going to be a lot of cases. So instead of writing it down, so maximum number of, when I am going to look at this, I am only going to see the maximum number of cases I can have is 10, because digits can go from 0 to 9. So 10 से ऊपर तो case हो ही नहीं सकते. So when you start writing, as sir has done, only you started writing from here, you will end up at 4 cases and 2 will be eliminated. So clearly the answer is visible. So
and अगर 4 cases होते भी तो फर्क क्या पड़ना था? I had to look at the 2 extreme cases only. Okay. Question 2. Okay. Average salary of 5 managers and 25 engineers in a company is 60,000 rupees. If each manager received 20% salary increase while the salary of engineers remained unchanged, the average salary of all 30 employees would have increased by 5%. Average salary of engineers in rupees. Okay. Now, ये सवाल करने के लिए ना, and again, as you can see, 71% of the students have done it. I still have a problem with the 30% who did not pick up this question. ठीक है, accuracy भी high है, and सबने सही किया, because most of the students have created 2 equations. The way most students would have done this question is they said, let the salary of each manager be M and engineer be E. So what is it? 5M plus 25E should be equal to 60,000 is the average salary. So मैं 000 नहीं करता, 60 लिख लेता हूँ into 30. 60,000 को 60 लिख लिया, I'm just forgetting the 3 zeros. So answer choices में भी मेरे को 3 zeros की चिंता नहीं करूंगा. Okay. Okay. That is the first equation which is given. There is the total salary. Then what happens? Each manager received 20% increase in salary. So next year the salary of each manager will be 1.2M. So 5 into, and engineer को तो बेचारे को salary hike ही नहीं मिली. This became equal to increase by 5%.
63.
10% of 60 is 6. 5% will be 3. So it became 63 into 30. Okay. So इसको मैं 5 into 1.2 को 6M लिख सकता हूँ. Okay. Now if you subtract the first equation from the second equation, what do you get? Manager is equal to 3 into 30.
9. Right.
3 into 30. 60 into 30 minus 63 into 30, or which is 90. Okay. अब ये मिल गया है तो इंजीनियर भी निकाल लोगे. ठीक है. Nothing wrong with it. The only problem is it is time consuming. तुमने बेकार में 2 इक्वेशन बना के लंबा काम किया है. I'm not saying it is wrong. It is absolutely right. Good, you got the right answer, but this was not the right approach. At least allegation तो लगा सकते थे. Okay, so let me do that question by allegation. Okay, the right approach would have been to say, as far as the managers and the engineers are concerned, managers have a 20% salary hike, engineers have a 0% salary hike, but the average hike of the entire group is 5%. 20 minus 5 is 50. 5 minus 0 is 5. That is this ratio of 1:3. What is the ratio of 1:3? This means total salary of engineers, total salary of all 30 engineers, okay, upon total salary of
25 engineers and 5 managers.
So, 5 managers, na? 5 managers, and these are 25 engineers. This is 3/1. Okay, so अगर managers की total salary 1 rupee है, तो engineers की total salary is 3 rupees. That means the total salary will be 4 rupees. Okay. Now, so if the total salary is, so what is the total salary of all of them? 60,000 into 30. This is the total salary. Out of this, 3 by 4 is for engineers. There is a total salary of 25 engineers. So what will the salary of each engineer? Divide by 25. Okay. 4, 15,000. Okay. 5 5s are 25. 5 6 are 30. 5 into 3,000. 3,000 into 9,000 into 6, 54,000. Choice 2. Okay. Answer दोनों में वही आएगा, but this will be faster. The moment you start writing down and making, this can actually be done orally also if you understand ratios. मैं उस पे जा नहीं रहा हूँ अभी, क्योंकि you most of you are just starting with your preparation, but at least allegation तो लगना बनता था. Okay. Okay. So this was again, I would say, a round 1 question, but there's a simple jugaad of allegation which should have been applied here rather than applying the linear equations and solving it take from there.
Yeah. This is a question, I would say, this is a quick leap. This is a question of profit and loss. Then, and the worst part is everyone is way too comfortable with profit and loss that they are definitely going to go with this. So if you see, attempt is 37% and accuracy is 66%, but I am very sure no one has solved this question in less than 5 minutes.
Critical cheese in this question was to understand that this is a question which will take time to solve. Okay, let's read the question to understand क्यों मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये. Monthly sales of our products from January to April were 120, 135, 150 and 165 units respectively. Cost price of the product is rupees 240 per unit and a fixed mark price was used for the product in all 4 months. Discount of 20%, 10% and 5% were given on the mark price per unit in January, February and March respectively. No discount was given in the month of April. Total profit from January to April was 138,825. Then what is the mark price per unit in rupees? Now look at the choices also. Very close to each other. कोई chance ही नहीं है कि आप कुछ eliminate या approximate कर सकते. You'll have to solve it fully. And which is what Shashank was saying. There's a question which you need to solve fully to be able to do anything. किस तरह से करा जाएगा question ये? Let's look at this. We'll say, okay, the cost price is given to us as 240.
Pranav said Pranav has wasted 12 minutes in this particular question.
अरे बाप रे प्रणव, यही सवाल तुम्हारी कैट की कॉल खा गया होगा.
1/3 of the time of quant section is wasted on this one question because of the comfort zone of arithmetic. That's what someone was asking. Arithmetic agar kar lenge. So if you have done complete arithmetic, then it means you are going to get stuck in these kind of questions.
Mehek, us question mein we multiplied with 30 because 60,000 was the average salary. And there were 25 engineers and 5 managers, so 30 people. So average salary is 60,000, total salary will be 60,000 into 30. Okay, coming back to this question. Okay. अब करना क्या है? In the month of January, February, March and April, how many units have been sold? 120, 135, 150 and 165. Okay. In the month of January, the discount given is 20%. So selling price in month of January will be 0.8x. In the month of February, 10% discount, so 0.9x. And 5% in the month of March, so 0.95x. And this is only x because no discount in the month of April. So, okay. So what is the total selling price? 120 into 0.8. So it will be this into this. There is a total selling price. You add the total selling price. So you'll find the total selling price out here. What is the total cost price? Total cost
summation of all the quantities into 240. Yeah. That is cost price.
So 270 plus 300, 570. The sum of all these is 570. So there are 570 units. So total cost price is 570 into 240. Total selling price is what we will calculate from here. The difference of the two is this thing. बहुत काम कराएगा ना, बहुत मेहनत लगेगी. This is a question which is not worth attempting, at least not the way it is being shown out here. This is a wrong approach, and जो हम approach बताऊंगा अभी change करके उसको भी मैं बोलूंगा round 2 में. This is definitely not the round 1 question. Not to be attempted will be time consuming. I know how to do it, but I don't want to do it because this is going to take me a lot of time to solve. Okay, there is a faster way of doing it, but that will still not take away the headache. It will reduce the headache. Okay, एंड चलो शशांक तुम बता दो यार क्या करा था तुमने.
So basically मैं ये बोलूंगा 37% people wasted a lot of time over it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, एक मिनट, I'll just make sure that the portions are highlighted. Yeah.
So basically, what if I am going to solve this one? So what I am going to do, the quantity is 15 into 8, the quantity is 15 into 9, the quantity is going to be 15 into 10, and quantity is going to be 15 into 11, and that's what. When you are going to look at this, you are going to see an AP, and AP is going to be at a difference of 15. So, and every number is multiple of 15. So what I'm going to see, 15 into 8, 15 into 9, 15 into 10, and 15 into 11. So now when I'm going to talk about total quantity, so total quantity is going to be 15 times 8 plus 9 plus plus 10 plus 11. That is the total quantity I am talking about, and total cost price is going to be this. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पे अगर हमको पूरा सॉल्व करना है तो what I am going to do, I am going to divide this number by 15 और उसके बाद हम सॉल्व करेंगे. So instead of going by 120, 135, 150 and 165, I am going to work with this. So I am going to say कि 8 क्वांटिटी ली, 9 क्वांटिटी ली, 10 क्वांटिटी ली और 11 क्वांटिटी ली, and I am going to solve it like 138825 और इसको 15 से डिवाइड कर लेंगे. So that comes out to be what? 9, 338, 2, 7 and 7. So basically, instead of using this number, I am going to use this number. Instead of using these numbers, I am going to use these number. Rest of my approach is also going to be same. So again, I am going to waste a lot of time.
See, the understanding which you need to have, if you are working with smaller numbers, you will end up saving time. So effectively, what Shashank has done is, instead of saying ki bhaiya ye 120, 135, I am saying divide each of them by 15. If you divide each of them by 15, this becomes 8, 9, 10 and 11. And since the quantities have been divided by 15, the profit should also be divided by 15. So baki same hi rahega. But now it will become 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'll quickly do this to show you ki kitni jaldi ho jayega ab ye. Okay, because this is very, very important. If you work with smaller numbers, your calculation will become easier. Okay, first 8 January discount of 20%, so 0.8x, 0.8x,
0.9x.
0.9x is the 10% discount. 5% discount means 0.95x and x. So what does it become? 0.64x. Total selling price.
6.4.
Sorry, total selling price will become 6.4x. 8.1x, 9.5x,
and
11x. Total becomes 20, 28, 34, 35x. So total selling price is 35x. Cost price is 240 into how many 38. Are these? 38. Total cost price is 240 into 38. This is the cost price. Total selling price is 38x, 35x. Sorry. Okay. And so effective and your profit is going to be
9277.
Will be equal to
9277.
Yeah, ये जो शशांक ने किया था 9277. Okay. Or I can say x will be nothing but 9277 minus 240 into 38 upon 35. Okay. Okay. So all you need to do is 9277 calculator kholo. Now use a calculator and solve it. And if you notice, it's even after simplifying it, we still need to use the calculator, which means the calculation are not easy, which is why this was a round 2 question. ये दिख जाना चाहिए था, इस सवाल में काम बहुत करना पड़ेगा, and when it is a high amount of work required, it is either a round 2 or a round 3 question, should not be attempted in round 1. हाँ, calculate करके देख लेना, answer is 525.
This is easy.
This is an easy question, but देखो क्या हाल किया लोगों ने. Half the population attempted, उसमें ही ज्यादा ने गलत कर दिया, and this is probably the easiest geometry question you can get. Okay. AB triangle ABC is formed with AB equal to AC equal to 50 and BC equal to 80. Sum of lengths in centimeter of all 3 altitudes of the triangle ABC. जल्दी से ट्रायंगल बना के काम करके खत्म करते हैं यार. राउंड 1 क्वेश्चन है.
And you know, in this question, even values are very easy.
हाँ.
So they didn't give anything tricky in this one. So this is 50.
80. We want the altitude. पहला काम तो यही करेंगे. This is an isosceles triangle. So this is going to be 40 and this will be 40. And if you remember your Pythagorean triplets, 50 square minus 40 square, this is 30. Okay. So पहली चीज तो आ गई. Now what do we need to do? We need to look at the other part. You will have a, okay, let's say this, and similarly you have with this one. Now both of them will be the same. Both these other altitudes will be the identical, will be same length because isosceles triangle hai ye. Okay. So effectively, what are we talking about? This is going to be, answer will be 30 plus h plus h. If I say this altitude is h, okay. How do you find the altitude? Half base into height. Area of the triangle kya hai? Half into
80 into 30.
Into 30. This should be equal to half into
H into 50.
This is h into 50. Half of तो हटा दो. 5, 6,
40.
ठीक है. So that means h is equal to 48. So what is my answer going to be? 30, 48 plus 48 is 96, which is 126. इससे आसान सवाल ज्योमेट्री का मिलना थोड़ा मुश्किल था. And yet, not only have half these students not attempted, जिन्होंने attempt किया उसमें से 40-20% नहीं सही किया है. Only about 10% of the population has got the question right. That is being absolutely stupid. Yeah.
And I think Akshay has said it is not 9277, it is 9255. Okay, thank you, Akshay. But I hope you understood the gist of it.
साफ साफ लिख देते फिर, क्योंकि अक्षय ने बोल ही दिया है. Yeah. Okay. दिखाता है ना ये कि जितनी कैलकुलेशन होगी, every calculation of potential of making a mistake. So higher the amount of calculation, the bigger the chance you'll make a mistake. You should normally be pushing it to round 2. Okay.
This one. In triangle ABC, AB is equal to AC. So basically, again, it is going to be an isosceles triangle. Again, it is going to be an isosceles triangle. D is a point on BC such that AD is equal to 8. If AD is extended to a point E such that ACB and AEB, then the length of E. Now, इस टाइप के जब भी क्वेश्चन होते हैं और उसमें बोला है कि D एक पॉइंट है, ठीक है, and which point? They are not mentioning any point. So why not assume it is perpendicular?
See, one of the things you need to look at this question. First of all, सवाल देख के पता चला क्या करना है. अगर नहीं पता चला है तो maybe it's a round 2 question. And given the fact that only 16% have been able to attempt, this was a difficult question of most of the students. And why? Because most students don't do geometry. वो कहते हैं arithmetic का algebra के भरोसे चलेंगे, and hence they struggle in the paper. So this was a question that was difficult for most of you and should have logically been a round 2 question for all of you. Okay? The previous question, I would say, this previous question was a round 1 question. This everyone should be attempting in round 1. This particular question is either a round 2 or a round 3 question, depending upon your comfort with geometry. If you don't understand geometry, छोड़ दो. If you understand geometry but बहुत confidence नहीं है, this is a round 2 question. If you are very good with geometry, then a round 1 question. But by and large, this is a round 2 or round 3 question for each student.
I would like to say one thing in this. We have given similar type of question in our mock. So anyone who has gone through all our mocks, उसने ये question तो देखा होगा. Even with the different values, but this type of question was there. And if you in geometry, sir, I would say one thing, that if you are even solving a question of geometry, first draw the figure, then leave.
Yes. Most important चीज जो शशांक ने बोली थी वो ये थी. It says D is any point. If it is any point, I'll put it at a place where it is convenient for me. Okay. If I don't put it at a place where it is convenient for me, I am going to make my life difficult. And hence, I would say, please decide on putting a point in a place where it works for you. Okay. So this is D for us. Okay. Now, AD is equal to 8.
AD is 8.
Okay. To point E such that angle ACB equal to angle AEB. तो भैया इसको extend करना होगा. It says angle ACB and there's E somewhere here, let's say. Okay. So
AEB.
ठीक है. So he's saying this angle and this angle are the same. Okay. Now it is a question of similar triangles. आता है तो करोगे, नहीं आता छोड़ के चल देना चाहिए. But again, what Shashank said, take a decision on geometry question after you make the figure. So spend that 30 seconds, draw the figure, समझ आता है क्या करना है, take it forward, otherwise leave it. But we can do this question straight away, Shashank.
So basically, if once you have drawn this, so remember this, similarity is must, and similarity is not something that is visible all the times. So when you draw the figure, just do one thing to understand similarity, just write down the angles. Value mat likho, kuch bhi likh do. Let's say I am saying this angle is theta, so this is also going to be theta. I have assumed this is 90, so this is also 90, this is also 90. Now this is a right angle triangle. This is 12, this is 8. So what is the length of BD? So I am going to say BD square is going to be what? That is going to be 144. That is 12 square minus 64, or I would say 80. So BD comes out to be root 80. Now this is theta, this is 90. So this becomes 90 minus theta. This is isosceles triangle. So basically this is also going to be root 80. Now if you look at this triangle, ADC and BDC, the similarity is clearly visible. Theta, theta, 90, 90. So this angle becomes 90 minus theta. So इस question में similarity ढूंढी नहीं है. So whenever you try to look for similarity, what your job is to write angles. एंगल लिखने के बाद सिमिलैरिटी विजिबल होती ही है. अगर होगी दिख गई तो आगे करना चाहिए, नहीं दिखे छोड़ दो. But write down the angles. Now what opposite to theta, what do we have? Root 80. Opposite to theta, what do we have? 8. Opposite to 90 minus theta, what do we have? हमको निकालना तो DE है, so that is DE. And opposite to 90 minus theta, what do we have? Root 80. तो यहाँ से क्या आ गया? DE is equal to root 80 into root 80, that is 80 upon 8, and that comes out to be 10. So this becomes 10, this becomes 8, total length becomes 80.
Yeah. So the important thing for you from in this question was to understand, देखो सवाल दिया है ना, the moment it said that this angle is equal to this angle, check the other angles also. ये तो 90-90 है, so obviously the remaining two angles will also be equal, which means these two are going to be similar triangles, and you should be able to then solve it further based on that. Okay. Yeah.
This one. So basically, for real values of x, the range of the function. So question is talking about the range of the function. मतलब function कैसे solve होगा, function की value कहाँ से कहाँ तक जा रही है. So दिमाग में पहला thought एक ही आता है कि x equal to 0. हाँ जी,
आपका भी call आया था.
ठीक है. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put x equal to 0. So if I'm going to put x equal to 0, so numerator becomes minus 3. And denominator becomes, this is 0, this 0, this becomes minus 6.
मैं एक मिनट घर पे बोलता हूँ.
So that becomes 1 by 2. Okay. So when you are going to solve these kind of questions, you are looking for domains, you are looking for ranges. So what your job is, कुछ समझ में ना, 0 डाल दो. ठीक है. So 0 डाल दिया, 1 by 2. So I know 1 by 2 is part of my range. Now whenever you have these kind of questions, the most important part is not to solve it, not to get the range, not to get any value. Your job is to eliminate 3 options. अगर आप 3 option eliminate नहीं कर पा रहे तो आपसे solve नहीं होगा, because these kind of questions generally are very very tricky. So सीधे 1 by 2 आ गया. इसका मतलब इस range में 1 by 2 तो नहीं है. So this option is eliminated. इस range में भी 1 by 2 नहीं है. So this option is also eliminated. Now I have already eliminated 2 options. Now I need to check with either 1 by 8 or 1 by 4.
The thing you need to remember is, once you have eliminated 2 options, you don't look at the commonality between the 2 options, but look at the similarity, the difference between these 2 options. ये दोनों तो निकल गए, इनको छोड़ देते हैं, ठीक है? But when you're looking at, so this is out, this is out. Now look at this. This is same in both these choices. This choice is stopping at 1 by 8. This choice is going up to 1 by 4. So the approach should be, I need to check for a value which is more than 1 by 8, but less than or equal to 1 by 4. Okay.
So इस केस में what is the approach? मतलब इसको solve कैसे करेंगे, कुछ समझ भी नहीं आ रहा, no one understands anything how to go about it. So what you should do, इसको सीधे 1/4 के बराबर रख लो. If it becomes equal to 1/4, इसका मतलब range answer ये होगा. If 1/4 does not satisfy, then ये तो होगा ही. So it means what I'm.
Then the critical thing is real values.
Real values.
Yani if I put this expression equal to 1/4, do I get a real value of x or do I get a non-real value? अगर x की value irrational या non-real आ रही है तो wrong choice. 1/4 cannot be a part of my answer. आ रही है तो 1/4 has to be a part of my answer.
And let's put it equal to 1/4. And this is what, and that's how we are going to proceed. So we are going to get what? 8x minus 12, and that is equal to 2x square plus 4x minus 6. So this is what that is going to give us. That is going to be 2x square minus 4x plus 6, and that's equal to 0. So I am going to get x square minus 2x plus 3, and that's equal to 0. Now, instead of solving it and getting the answer, I am directly going to check D. So if D is less than 0, then there is no real value. So what is D? B square, that is 4, minus 4ac means 4 into 1 into 3. This becomes negative. It means at 1/4, I am not getting any real value of x. It means this option is also eliminated. So answer becomes this.
Okay, so ये इस तरह का जो students कहते हैं जुगाड़ दे हम लगाते हैं. The idea being that I have to get the answer first. So when I said you don't look at solving the question first, this is a way of solving the question first by using the choices. What we have done is eliminated choices, verified choices. That is where we save time rather than trying to solve the question, trying to read or solve it first. Yeah. And again, यहाँ पे भी देखो. Okay, only 27% attempted. This was a question, I would say, तो round 1 question सबके लिए होना चाहिए था, पक्का करने वाला सवाल था. If you have not attempted this question, it was definitely a waste of time.
So in these kind of questions, I am still going to say the same thing. Your job is not to get the answer. Your job is to eliminate 3 options. In इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन में अगर ऑप्शन एलिमिनेट नहीं हो रहे तो बहुत टाइम लगेगा. This one.
A very very interesting question. इसको हम 2 तरीके से करेंगे. First we will do it by the mathematical method which most of the students have used it. Then हम बताएंगे क्या जुगाड़ या क्या choice लग सकती थी इसमें, which would have helped you save a lot of time. Okay? Sum of all possible real values of x for which this expression holds true. Okay. Okay. शशांक तुम कर दो. ठीक है. So इसमें log लगा के सीधे करना है. And one thing you should be clear कि base x minus 3 है, you should make base x minus 3 for the remaining term also.
ठीक है. So I can say 1 is equal to the most basic formula is log a base a is equal to 1, and that's what we are going to use here. So 2 into 1 लिख सकते हैं, तो इसको ऐसे लिखेंगे 2 into log base x minus 3 x minus 3. So in reality it is going to be log of x minus 3 whole square, and base is going to be x minus 3, and this is what we are getting for this term. Now LHS is going to be log base x minus 3 x square minus 9, and that is equal to log base x minus 3 x plus 1. And this is my final equation is. Now you should know the basic formula of log if you are going to solve the questions. Log a, log b plus log c if bases are same. So these numbers got multiplied. So it is in reality going to be log of base x minus 3 x square minus 9, and that is equal to log base x minus 3 x plus 1 into x square minus 3, and this is what we are getting. अब ये बेस सेम है, मतलब ये वाली वैल्यू इस वाली वैल्यू के बराबर होनी चाहिए. So I am going to say x square minus 9 is equal to x plus 1 into x minus 3. Sorry, it is not this. X minus 3 whole square. Now it can be said as x minus 3 into x plus 3, and that is equal to x plus 1 into x minus 3 whole square. This cancels out, x plus 3 is equal to x square minus 2x minus 3, and this is what we are going to get. I am going to get x square minus कितना आएगा इसको minus 3x minus 6 and that's equal to 0. ये इसका रियल सोल्यूशन है.
हाँ ठीक है, यहाँ तक आ गया है. Now you need to find sum of possible values of x. Okay, so what are the for which this expression is going to hold? Okay, so x क्या आता है इसमें?
इसमें x I am going to get x is equal to 3 plus root 33 by
minus,
2
plus minus.
Minus.
Okay. Now this is it. Now why is the accuracy low? ये समझना होगा. The answer is going to be we are getting x equal to 3 plus root 33 by 2 and the other value of x is going to be 3 minus
root
33 by 2. If I add both of them, what do I get?
3.
I will get 3. So most students would have marked this as the answer, but this is a wrong answer. ये गलत है. Okay, because there's something which students missed out, and ये बताता है the students have missed out. They have either been careless या उनको log की समझ नहीं है, and then that means they should not have been attempting this question. Okay, what is the problem out here? 3 minus root 33 by 2. This is going to be less than 3. Okay, what is this? I'll just erase the segment actually.
Base becomes negative.
Okay. Now 3 by 2 minus root 33 by 2. This is less than 3. Base negative हो जाएगा. Base cannot be negative, so this case is not possible at all. The only case that is possible is this one. Okay. So this is a mistake that many people commit out here. And again, दो reasons हैं. मेरे को log की समझ नहीं है. In which case I should not be attempting. मेरे को log की समझ है, but I was trying to save time. Hence मैंने सीधा यहाँ से मैंने sum of roots को minus sum of roots को 3 उठा के कर दिया. But when it's a question of logs, you always need to check the base. If you are not checking the base, it is not going to work out for you. So this was I would say, a round 1 question if you're very good with logs. Otherwise, it should be a round 2 or round 3 question, not a round 1 question. Okay. Now let's come to the other part, जिसमें कुछ चीज हम eliminate कर सकते थे. Okay. Okay, you could have eliminated something out here. The starting point is, ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता answer. If the sum of roots, sum of real values of x is minus 3. That means some of the values will be negative. That means the base will become negative. This implies some of the values, for some value of x, it will be negative, or which implies that x minus 3 will be negative, which is not possible. Wrong choice. Similarly, if the sum of roots is 3, if the sum of all values are 3, that means some of the values will be equal to 3. Some could be greater than 3, some would be less than 3. Sorry. या तो सब 3 होंगी. If all of them are 3, then this base becomes 0. Not possible. If some are greater than 3 then some cannot be 3. If some of the values of x
are less than 3.
Sorry, 8 minutes. Hello. If this is 3, then what does ये out हो गया? X is greater than 3. If it is greater than 3, the sum of values is greater than the sum of the values greater than 3, then it will be more than 3. So this also cannot be the case. If all values of x are less than 3, then this will again become negative. So this is not possible. So out of the 4 choices, 2 choices you could have eliminated very, very easily, and then looked at doing something with the remaining 2 choices. But ये चीज लेके चलना चाहिए. Logs का सवाल है. If you are not comfortable with it, this was a round 2 question, and the data is also telling us round 2 question. The mistake that many students would have committed is उन्होंने check नहीं किया होगा कि x minus 3 negative आ रहा है कि positive आ रहा है, and that is a careless mistake which should have been avoided.
I would say that ये root 33 भी नहीं होना
उसमें भी root 33 है ना?
No, I am saying simply this root 33 should not be possible. Because irrational sum of roots becomes.
But this is also irrational. हाँ, इसको बाद में करते हैं. ठीक है. Okay. Okay, this is another question, very, very common question, and but ये सवाल जो है 22% attempted, rightly so, not a question which should have been attempted by many people, and 40% of those got it right. But this question many people did not even understand, despite the fact इस तरह के सवाल कई बार कर चुके हैं, and this question most people did not even understand. So let's look at this particular question. Rahul starts his journey at 5 p.m. at a constant speed so that he reaches his destination at 11 p.m. the same day. However, on his way, he stops for 20 minutes. And after that, he increased by speed by 3 kilometers per hour to reach on time. If he had stopped for 10 minutes more, that means if he had stopped for 30 minutes, he would have had to increase his speed by 5 kilometers per hour to reach on time. His initial speed in kilometers per hour was how much? Okay. So, क्या किया है? He starts from some place, okay, at 5 p.m. and he has to reach his destination at 11 p.m. Okay. At a constant speed, let me assume his speed is s, and he's taking t minutes to reach his destination. Okay. Okay. Or t hours to reach his destination. Okay. However, on his way, he stops for 20 minutes. So, t minutes में कर लेते हैं. Okay. He stops somewhere at 20 minutes, and when he stops at 20 minutes for 20 minutes, he should reach late by 20 minutes. But what does he do? He increases his speed by 3 kilometers per hour. So s plus 3. So over this distance, यहाँ पे stop किया है. पहले the distance this was being covered at the speed of s in t minutes. Now he has increased his speed by 3 kilometers and he's going to take t minus 20. Why t minus 20? 20 मिनट उसने आराम किया. उसके बाद he increased his speed. And then what happened? If he expects stop for 10 minutes more, so if he had, then he would have 30 minutes less available, t minus 30. He would have to increase his speed by 5 kilometers. Okay. So the speed would have been so much. Okay. His initial speed in kilometers per hour. So what do we need to do? Distance is nothing but s into t. Is equal to
s plus 3 into t minus 20.
S plus 3
into t minus 20.
किलोमीटर्स पर आवर में कर दें तो t minus 20 by 60 कर देता हूं, and this should be equal to
s plus 5 into t minus 30.
Because we are working in terms of kilometers per hour. Okay, so there is an issue out here. So now you need to solve this. So these are three questions, three variables. If you are very comfortable with ratios, there is a ratios method which is available. उसको एक मिनट छोड़ देते हैं, हम सीधे जुगाड़ पे आ जाते हैं, उसको बाद में बात करेंगे when you have studied those topics. Okay. Now please look at this. The question is telling me his initial speed is what we knew. So this is s. So what are the possible values of s plus 3 and s plus 5? 12 plus c 15, 15 plus c, 12 plus c 15, and 12 plus 5 17. 20 plus c is 23 and 25. 18 plus c 21, 21, 18 plus 5 23. 15 plus c 18 and 20. Okay. Now we can straight away say कि इसमें कुछ choices तो गलत है. Okay. Please understand, this is a there's nothing mathematics involved out here, but it is more an experience or the logic of the way the questions are created. The way the questions are created, these prime numbers will not happen. Okay. Okay. So effectively, what we are saying out here is out here we are saying among these choices, I am going to say this is unlikely to be a part of my answer because prime number aa jayega, the calculations are not unlikely to hold. This is again unlikely to be correct. Okay, 23. Most probably this should be the answer. I will start checking with this choice and then check out whether it is coming out right or not. So I will say, let me assume speed is 15. If speed is 15, what does that mean? 15, 18, and 20. Okay. Now if the speed is 15, so I can say 15 into t should be equal to
18t minus 3
into t minus 1 by 3. Okay. So what do we get? 18t minus 15t will be 3t. 18t minus 15t is 3t, and
is equal to 6.
And is equal to 6, or t is equal to
2.
2. Sorry, not half, but 2. And check whether it satisfies this condition. Okay.
15 into 2. Yeah.
So the distance becomes 15 into 2 equal to 30. Now check if I put t equal to 2.
20 into 1.5.
Okay. So what does it become? S plus 5 into t minus 30 by 60 half should be equal to 30. Okay. So 15 plus 5, 20 into
1.5.
कितना है?
1.5.
Into 1.5, yeah. 2 minus 0.5 is equal to 30. Satisfying. So this has to be the correct answer. So ratios वाला काम हम बाद में बताएंगे क्या करना है when you start preparing when you can study these topics. But by and large, you could have easily looked at the choices and जहां जहां prime number दिख रहा था हटा सकते थे and you could have straight away looked at choices. But ये सवाल छोड़ देते ना, there was nothing wrong with it. It was perfectly fine to leave this question in the paper and not waste your time on it. This was typically अगर जुगाड़ हटा देता हूं तो round 2 या round 3 question है, not to be attempted by and large.
The ratio of number of coins in boxes was 17:9, and after 108 coins were shifted from box A to box B, the ratio became 37:20. The number of coins, कुछ को यहाँ से यहाँ भेज दिया, and the ratio become this. और फाइनली हमें 1:1 का बनाना है कि हमें वापस से और कितना करना है. So basically अब इस क्वेश्चन में जो थॉट प्रोसेस होता है कि दैट इफ आई लुक एट टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइंस इनिशियली एंड टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइंस फाइनली, सो बस हम कर क्या रहे हैं, हम इधर से निकाल के उधर डाल दे रहे हैं, उधर से निकाल के इधर डाल दे रहे हैं. सो इफ आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइंस इन बॉक्स 1 एंड बॉक्स 2, दे आर कांस्टेंट. सो यहाँ पे टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइंस कितनी है? 17 + 7 24. नाउ व्हाट इज द टोटल नंबर ऑफ कॉइंस वी हैव हियर? दैट इज गोइंग टू बी 57. इनको इक्वेट करना है हमें.
In this kind of a question, I find most of the time you'll find students doing lots of work, lots of effort being put in, more calculation done. So typically, how would students do it? Let the number of coins in the first box be 17x, in the second box be 7x. 17:7. 108 coins are shifted from here, so 108 coins will come here, and this ratio becomes equal to 37/20. Okay,
Standard.
Okay, this is the way students will do it. Absolutely right. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, time बहुत लगेगा, and that is why the accuracy is low. Okay, so this is what has been done. Now using this, what will you do? You will solve for x. 17 into 20. You will say 17 into 20, 340x, minus 20 into 108 equal to 7x into 37 plus 37 into 108. ठीक है, ये सॉल्व करके x निकालेंगे and सॉल्व कर देंगे. बेवकूफों वाला तरीका बिल्कुल नहीं करना ये. You have to do what? नहीं छोड़ दो.
नहीं, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ इसके बाद भी बहुत काम करना पड़ेगा.
After this, once you find x, you will find this, and then you need to see how many more to be shifted here. Okay, so this is not what you should be doing. You should be saying, I'm not going to do this. I will look at it in a slightly different way, and which is why what Shashank wrote 24 and 57. So total number of coins here is 24x. This is 57y. 37y is to 20y. Can I not say the number of coins should be a multiple of 24 and 57. 24x, 57y, number of coins has to be multiple of both. Okay, so what is 24? 24 is 2 square into 3, and 57 is 19 into 3. So what is going to be the LCM of these two? 2 square into 3 into 19.
456.
Or I can say 24 into 19 is the
456.
छोड़ देते हैं उसको. ठीक है, 24 into 19 हमने ले लिया number of coins. Okay, so all I have done is I have said the number of coins is nothing but 24 into 19. Okay, we can multiply it also if you want. We can leave it as it is. Okay, now please tell me what is happening. This is equal to 24 into 19 कितना होता है? It is 24 into 20 minus 24 into 1. 480 minus 24, 456. So this is 456 is the number of coins. Okay. So I have 456 coins. This is 17:7 के ratio में. So how many coins will be here? This will be 17 by 24 into 24 into 19. 456 मैं इसलिए avoid कर रहा था लिखने को, क्योंकि calculation होएगी. Okay. Okay. So what is 17 into 19? 17 into 19 is 17 square plus 34. 17 square is 289. After all, 17 into 19 is nothing but 17 into 17 plus 2. 17 square is 289. 289 plus 34, 293, 323. Okay. So the number of coins here is 323. And what will this be? 456 minus 323. So that becomes 156, 136, 133. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what happens after that? Okay. This has to be in the ratio 37 is to 20. Okay, this could also be in the ratio 37 is to 22. 37 is to 20. Okay. Now, what is this? This is nothing but number of coins. If the ratio is 37 is to 20, ये वाला केस देख रहे हैं हम. Okay. So कितना होगा? 37 by 57 into 24 into 19. 19 into 3 is 57. 3 into 8, sorry. 37 into 8. 37 into 8 is 240 plus 56, which is 296. So in this case, it will be 296 and this will be
160.
160. 160, yeah. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between these two? 323 and 296, 23 plus 4, 27. So if we had 456 coins, then the difference was 27. But as per the question, difference क्या होना चाहिए? 108. When 108 coins are shifted, the ratio changes from 17 is to 7 to 37 is to 20. So that means the difference has to be 108, which is 27 into 4. So the total number of coins also should be 456 into 4. 456 into 4?
1824. 1824.
Okay, 18?
24.
24. So there should be a total of 1824 coins. This is what we have found. जो बहुत मेहनत लग रही थी. Now if you have got 1824 coins.
लेकिन इसमें ना मेरे ख्याल से हमको ये भी नहीं निकालना है.
अभी कर लेते हैं. ठीक है. हाँ. ठीक है. 1824 coins आ गए हमारे इसके अंदर. हमें क्या निकालना है? रेशियो निकालना है. How many more coins to be shifted? The number of coins that need to be shifted further from A to B to make this ratio. So 1824 यहाँ पे है total coins. Okay. And what is 17 is to 7? And what was 1824? 1824 was 456 into 4. 4, 6 are. 6 7s are 42. 6 7s are 42. 36 makes it 6. Okay, so Shashank कितना आएगा?
1292.
This will come out to be 1292. And how much is this?
It is 532.
532. So how many coins need to be shifted from here to here? 1292 minus 532 coins have to be shifted. Divide by 2 have to be shifted. After all, अगर मेरे पास 20 coins हैं,
912 बनाने.
Okay, मेरे पास 20 coins हैं. अगर मेरे को दोनों को बराबर करना है तो आधे आधे कर दूंगा. अगर मैं कहता हूँ there has to be a difference of 2. So what will I do? 10 minus 1 and 10 plus 1. Okay.
एक छोटी सी गलती.
हाँ, कहीं कैलकुलेशन गलती है क्या?
नहीं. Actually आपको ये 17:7 नहीं लेना है. 37:20 के बाद
एक ही बात है उसमें. It doesn't matter whether you do 37 में minus 108 extra कर दूंगा ना मैं. Okay. So ultimately, okay, what Shashank is saying is actually slightly faster method. What Shashank is saying इसमें, so we have कितना कौन सा? 456 into 4. 4 coins are there, and this is broken in the ratio of 37 is to 20. Okay. वैसे थोड़ा लंबा कर दिया मैंने unnecessary. Okay.
1144.
Okay. So this is going to be 1144, and this one
640.
640. Okay. So take the difference of the two and divide by 2. Difference of the two becomes?
Difference. I think even I made some calculation as well.
Chalo, ठीक है. I hope the process is clear. So this is a question where you need to be clear that this is not a worth. Now देखो इसके maybe इतनी सारी calculation आ रही है. Even the shorter method is going to take time. And this is why, to my mind, this was a round 3 question, not to be attempted. या बहुत फुर्सत है तो देख सकते हो. Definitely not the question you should be attempting initially. And if you have to attempt the question, rather than starting with the basic thing of saying 17 is x and 24x, 17x and 7x, and that 37y and 20y, a better approach is always going to be take the LCM of 24 and 57 as the number of coins, and which came out to be 24 into 19. work on that basis, it will become easier. But calculation फिर भी है, not the question which is worth attempting in the paper.
So again, this is a question of number system. There are three numbers that are given. So number system. So this year, so questions of number system has been slightly easier as compared to the previous years. In some years, we didn't get a lot of questions from number system. But if you read the question, there are three natural numbers. So basically, a lot of times what happens, people don't read these kind of information, that whether it is a natural number or a real number. If it is a real number, the number can be in decimal as well. If it is a natural number, it can't be zero. So when we talk about natural number, remember this, it can't be zero. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, a complete number. And their sum is 900, and that is the important part. Okay. R is a perfect square whose value lies between 150 and 500. So if I am saying, the first thing I am going to get in my head, that R is a perfect square that is greater than 150 and less than 500. So how many perfect squares are going to lie between 150 and 500? That is 13 square to 22 square. So R is going to lie between 13 square to 22 square. So kitni total possible value hai R ki? That is 10. But do we need all those values? We'll see to that. P is not less than 0.3 Q. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे ये बोल रहा है कि P 0.3 Q से छोटा नहीं है और 0.7 Q से बड़ा नहीं है. अब यहाँ पे P is greater or equal than 0.3 Q and P is less than equal to 0.7 Q. This is the total information that we got. और यहाँ पे again, the reason a lot of people didn't solve this question and did the accuracy is very low, that is 8%, because there are going to be cases, and why there are going to be cases, that is going to be this. Now again, as sir has been saying, if you do not understand the question fully, if you are unable to comprehend the question, the best is to leave the question. Not even total 10% of the test taker has got this question right. So 8% accuracy, 31% people have attempted it. The total
actually, it is 2.4%. It is 8% of 31%, which is 2.5% approximately. So only 1 in 40% is getting right. Now, this was right question to leave. This is not the question you should be wasting your time attempting in the paper. Mathematically, kazoge, pura ho jayega, but the amount of time it will take and the chance, and again, remember, no choices out here, which means you cannot even eliminate choices. If you can't eliminate choices, that means you will have to do the complete calculation, which can be time consuming, and a small mistake can lead to a wrong answer. So not a question worth attempting, but kaise karna wo bata do. So
basically, I would say that so I'm just going to write the equations. I'm sorry. So it says that sum of the three numbers P plus Q plus R, and that is equal to 900. So what is the smallest value of R? I would say that is going to be 169. And what is the largest value of R? I would say that is 485. So अगर हम maximum और minimum value की बात कर रहे हैं, तो इसका मतलब we have to work with the extreme values of R. So P plus Q क्या हो सकता है कि R की extreme value ले लेते हैं 169. So that is going to be 731. दूसरा P और Q की वैल्यू क्या आ सकती है? That is going to be 484 means 416. I am getting two ranges of P and Q, P plus Q. So if we are getting the value of R as 169, that is this. If I am getting value of R is 484, then this comes this. Now the question is, I need to maximize and minimize the value of P. Okay. Now, which is the largest value of P? P can be equal to 0.7 Q. ठीक है, वहां से P की maximum value आ जाएगी. And what is the smallest value of P? That is equal to 0.3. And this is what we are getting. कि अगर P की minimum value हमें निकालनी है, तो P की minimum value क्या हो सकती है? That is 0.3 Q. P की maximum value क्या हो सकती है? 0.7 Q. So basically, this is what we are going to deal with. So एक बार एक काम करते हैं, अगर कुछ नहीं समझ में आ रहा, so 4 केस बना लो. So this you can do 1.3 Q, that is equal to 731. 1.7 q. I'm just saying that p is equal to 0.3 q, p is equal to 0.7 q. That becomes 731. This is going to be 1.3 q, that is equal to 416, and 1.3 q, 1.7 q, that is equal to 416. यहाँ से अपने पास
Now, the question which will always come is why am I making 4? This is for those students who get confused. Which should I divide this by 1.3 or 1.7? Which one? If you are confused, best to take all four values. Calculator, either way use karna. Please don't hesitate. Please use a calculator if you are solving this question.
And after that, just we need to figure the values out. So q is equal to...
Yeah, so find the minimum and the maximum values of q from here, out here, and here. Okay. And then you can find the difference. Okay, Shashank, I think you can leave it. Which students can solve it from here. Okay. So the important cheese ye hai ki again, what was important out here is that like this particular question, this was a round 3 question. This again is a question which for many of you is a round 2 or round 3 question. This is, and even the data is telling you. Okay, the moment it becomes range, if it comes to be a decimal number, you need to then ask yourself, should I go for the higher integer or the lower integer? So this is what can make this question confusing, and which is why to me it was either round 2 or round 3 question. Definitely a round 1, maybe round 3 for most of the students as per the data.
And I would say that if this question would have options, more likely I would have gone for it. Yeah. If there were no options, more likely it's best to avoid. So again, if I look at this, so 18% attempts, 40% accuracy, total 7 people out of 100 people have got the answer right. Now this is a very surprising thing. In geometry, I feel there are only 2 types of people, one who solve it, second who leave it, but people solved it and got it wrong.
And this is a question which again for me, for most of the students, this was a question nahi attempt karna tha na, kyun kar rahe ho bekar mein, attempt aata nahi hai to. And just because it is trapezium, while there's a possibility that you can eliminate 2 out of the 4 choices. You can eliminate 2 out of the 4 choices, but end of the day, there are 4 choices, you need to eliminate 3. And if you're not able to eliminate 3, then it doesn't help much. Uske baad, then you have to take a chance. Okay. ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to DC, AD is perpendicular to AB, and AB equal to 3DC. If a circle is inscribed inside the trapezium, touching all sides, has a radius of 3 centimeter, area of the trapezium is what you need to find. Okay. This is the kind of figure that we are looking at. Okay. A, CD. Okay. Parallel AD, AB is parallel to DC, AD is perpendicular to AB, AB is perpendicular to AD is perpendicular to AB. AB is equal to 3DC. So if I say this is X, this will be 3X. Okay. And since this is X, I will even say this is going to be 2X. And this is X. Okay. Okay. Trapezium. Okay. And let me just remove this. Okay. Okay. Diameter of this circle is 6. Okay, radius of the circle is 3 centimeters. Diameter becomes equal to 6. Okay, so area of square centimeter. Now, पहला जुगाड़ जो इसमें लगा सकते हैं is a very simple thing. This is 6. What is area of a trapezium? It is half into sum of parallel sides x plus 3x, which is 4x. Half sum of parallel sides into distance between them. So what does it become? 12x. My answer should be a multiple of 12. 2 choices gone. Now you can take a chance and कि यार इसमें शायद √2 कहाँ से आएगा, सीधा मार्क कर दो, or you say कि ये आएगा, मार्क कर दो. So now you are taking purely a guess out here, and someone like me will take a guess, some other people will not take a guess. That's an individual preference, so I will not comment on that. But यहाँ पे 2 choices easily eliminate होती थी, उसके बाद problem थी. But now you have to solve this question, you'll have to do it completely either way. Okay. Now there's one simple thing which you need to remember about us, and if you don't know this rule, then you should not be attempting this question also. Okay. So if I look at a trapezium, okay. Oh. Oh. चलो वापस आ गया. Looking at, yeah. If I look at this as a trapezium, okay. Now, if this is A, this will also be A. This is B. This will also be B. This is C. C because these are the points of tangent. And this is D. This is D. What do you find? Sum of the two parallel sides is A plus B plus C plus D. And on the other side, A, B, C, D. That means sum of these two sides is equal to these two sides. So what is this side going to be? Okay, this is 3x plus x 4x, 4x minus 6. This is going to be 4x minus 6. Okay. Now if you put this out here, the area is equal to, okay, so we have this side as 4x minus 6. Now you can do a right angle triangle. Okay, this is 2x, this is 4x minus 6, this is 6. From here, find x and get the answer from there. Okay, or in the words, difficult question, not worth attempting, lengthy question. Now, this is what we meant by saying questions were made excessively lengthy. Calculator ki use. In fact, if you look at the prior question also, look at the number of questions you need to use a calculator. You need to use a calculator for this question 1. You need to use a calculator for the previous question 2. You need to use a calculator by and large. Okay, इसको छोड़ सकते हैं, but यहाँ पे भी नहीं चाहिए होगा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे नहीं. बट 2-3 सवाल तो हम अभी ऑलरेडी आ गए हैं हमारे कैलकुलेटर वाले. ये वाला कैलकुलेटर, 3 क्वेश्चंस ऑफ कैलकुलेटर. ओके, एंड दिस इज अ वेरी हाई नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन विद वेयर यू नीड टू यूज अ कैलकुलेटर. कैट में इफ यू गो टिल द लास्ट ईयर, वेरी फ्यू क्वेश्चन यू नीड टू यूज अ कैलकुलेटर. वी ऑलरेडी आर एट अबाउट क्वेश्चन नंबर 11. We are at question number 11, and 3 out of 11 questions you cannot solve without using a calculator. Not a question worth attempting, but yes. So now what you need to do is, we know that is 12x, and the critical thing what you need to do is, just to help you understand, this is 6, this is 4x minus 6, and this is 2x. 3x. 2x. Sorry, 2x. Huh? This is 2x. Okay. So what will you do? 6 square plus 4x square is equal to 4x minus 6 whole square. Find the value of x from here, substitute and get the answer. Okay. Time consuming. Round 2 question, definitely not a round 1 question. And if you do not know this particular thing for a quadrilateral, for a trapezium which can have a circle inscribed inside it, touching all 4 sides, sum of parallel sides is equal to sum of the other 2 sides. अगर ये नहीं मालूम है फिर तो करना नहीं चाहिए, छोड़ दो सवाल, आगे चलो. हाँ, ये जरूर कर सकते थे, इनमें से किसकी अच्छी शक्ल लग रही है उसको मार्क करके आगे चल सकते थे. A and B contain 60 liters of alcohol and 60 liters of water respectively. A contains a certain volume is taken out from A and poured into B. After stirring, the same volume is taken out from B and poured into A. If the resultant ratio of alcohol and water is 15:4, then the volume in liters initially taken out from A is how much? Now इसको बनाते हैं. Data क्या बता रहा है कि हालत बहुत खराब है. बहुत लोगों ने हिम्मत करके, many students said, okay, we'll do it because it is mixtures, ratios, let's do it, but there's a difficult question, and that is why the accuracy is low. Okay, but it's a very simple question if you use the jugaad that I will then talk about. Okay, we have A and B. Okay, vessel A and B contain 60 liters of alcohol and water. Okay, it has got 60 liters and no water. And B has got how much alcohol? 0. And it has got 60 liters of water. Now what happened out here? Okay, a certain volume is taken out from A. So let's say 60 minus x बचेगा यहाँ पे, is taken out from A and poured into B. So this becomes x plus 60. Okay. The resultant, okay. After stirring the same volume is taken out from B. So this is 60 plus x. From this, x liters is again taken out and poured back into A. Okay. And then the ratio becomes ratio becomes 15:4. So mathematically क्या किया बता देते हैं. If I'm taking X liters out of this, what will be the amount of alcohol taken out of X upon 60 plus X में से how much alcohol you are taking out? The ratio of alcohol in this mixture of 60 plus is X upon 60 plus X. So in X liters of this mixture, so I'm taking X liters of this mixture, the amount of alcohol in this will be X. So what is the amount of alcohol taken out? The amount of alcohol taken out will be this much, which is, so left will be X minus X square upon 60 plus X. And so what is the alcohol getting added? But alcohol के साथ water भी तो जाएगा. The amount of water which is there in the mixture is 60 upon 60 plus X. And the amount of water which will go out will be into X. So what is the B here? It will become 60X
upon 60 plus X.
ये mathematical तरीका है जो हमें नहीं करना है. Now the question says this is in the ratio of 15:4. So अब लोग क्या करेंगे? इनको equate करेंगे. बेवकूफी है. Okay? It is stupidity out here completely. Okay. Now look at this. Okay. It says this ratio is going to be 15:4. If this final ratio is 15:4, that means this, if there was 60 is to 16, 7. Okay. Now why did I take 60 is to 16? Okay. Let me go over. It is 15:4. That means the total should have been 19. Okay. So 19 का multiple देखो क्या है? 19 4s are 76. So if this is 76, this should be 16, this should be 16. So originally क्या था? What does that mean? Initially you had 60 liters of alcohol, out of which you removed 16 liters, this became 44. And this became equal to 16. Now this also tells you this ratio is 15:4. This ratio should have been 4:15. If you studied your ratios topic, this should have been some. So इसका जो है, एक तो ये बताया 15:4 करके 19 का multiple check करो 76. That means it should be 16:16. 60:16 or 15:4 is the same thing. Alternate thing you could have straight away said. Okay. Okay. You would have straight away said 60. Okay. Okay. Now, the final ratio here is 15:4. So the final ratio here has to be 4:15. That is all. So what does that mean? If this is 15 into 4, so this should be 4 into 4 equal to 16. So quantity of volume of water taken out has to be equal to 16. So straightforward question था, चाहे जुगाड़ लगा लो, चाहे logic लगा लो, चाहे ratios लगा लो, it was straightforward question. But again, people get lost in the calculation part. Straight away start writing. So the approach always has to be, can I just understand the question and then start doing it? Okay. 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 Simple, straightforward question. Data बताता है.
And this is, I think, this is the easiest question of the paper. Nothing much to do. So, rate of flow of water through pipes A, B, and C are in the ratio of 4:9:36. And I think if I read the first line, it means this is the most standard question of time and work. We have solved a lot of questions of this type, and this is what exactly it is asked in the exam itself. कि A जो है, and an empty tank can be filled completely by these pipes in 15 hours. And so basically efficiencies are given, time are given, and all three types are used simultaneously to fill up the tank. The time in minutes required to fill, ठीक है. पाइप ए अकेले 15 घंटे में भर रहा है, तो बेसिकली इसमें तो फिर कुछ करने की जरूरत ही नहीं बनती है कि बेसिकली ए की एफिशिएंसी मान लेते हैं 4, and we are talking about in minutes. So I am not going to go by 15 hours. I am not going to use anything, directly going to solve this one. So 1 मिनट में ये 4 भर रहा है, 15 घंटे का मतलब हो गया 15 into 60. This is the total capacity of the tank that we are talking about. अब एक ही जगह उसको तीनों भर रहे हैं, तो कितना होगा इसमें 4 into this is going to be 49. कितना टाइम लगेगा, let's say t. Solve it, got the answer, nothing to do, straightforward question.
And the important thing I want you to see here,
45%.
the easiest question, you cannot get an easier question than this from time and distance, time and work, sorry. And yet 55% have only attempted and 45% have left the question. Okay. So anyone saying this was a question not worth attempt, no, this is a round one question, should definitely have been attempted. The simplest thing is what Shashank has done, which means assume pipe A. Pipe A fills at the rate of 4 liters per hour per minute. Pipe B does it at the rate of 9 liters per minute, and pipe C does it at the rate of 36 liters per minute. जो numbers दिए उसी को ले लिया ना. So what is the capacity of the tank? 15 hours into 4 liters per minute. So in terms of minute, 15 into 60. So many minutes into 4 liters per minute. And if all three are open, this is where it is. So what does it become? T will be equal to 15 into 60 into 4. सब गंदे नंबर हैं, तो कैलकुलेटर यूज करना होगा. So 60 into 60, 3600.
7300
upon 49. Okay. So please use a calculator. The answer, if I remember correctly, because this was my paper, was 73. Okay.
So
Shashank ko deta hu. This is a Shashank question.
So I like these kind of questions. So when I was reading this question, so basically the best part, the only part I have seen in this. So, but again, this is a very straightforward question to me, because if I'm going to read this question, then I'm going to realize two things. Either I'm going to do it or I'm going to leave it in less than a minute. Now, more likely if I'm attempting it, I won't get it wrong. Now the problem is 20% people have attempted it, 80% has left it. I would say those 80% people has done a good job. They have left it. But out of those 20% people, only 40% people are getting it right. Either this is a question that if you are doing it, then it will be done in 2 minutes. If you are not able to understand, तो ये होगा ही नहीं, ये उस type का question है. So basically, what question is talking about, fx is given, some random things are given, and my job is to solve it. So what I am going to think of? The first thing that is going to come in my head, I am going to say that x square plus 3x, and let's call it t. Okay. So I am going to get fx is equal to what? That is equal to t into t plus 2. So fx becomes t square plus 2t. I'm going to put it here. So that is directly going to be fx is what? T square plus 2t and plus 1, and that is equal to 9701. So now what I am going to get? I am going to get t plus 1 whole square root, and that is equal to, sorry, it is going to be this 9701. So t plus 1 comes out to be 9701. So t comes out to be what? 97. Okay. Now what is t? That is x square plus 3x equal to 97. So I am going to get x square plus 3x minus 97 equal to 0. What is the sum of roots? It's a quadratic equation. So sum of roots becomes minus 3.
Now, one of the things you need to remember is all the questions. जहाँ पे दिखता ना sum of roots, sum of values, इनमें quadratic equation बनानी ही होगी. And that is a hint for you that how do I convert this into a quadratic equation, and which is what Shashank has done in a very, very simple way. That is nothing but t into t plus 2, and your task becomes t plus 1 whole square equal to this. So t plus 1 is equal to plus minus 9700. हाँ, ठीक है, 2 cases आ जाएंगे. Okay, ठीक है, चलो. Okay. Now this is another question where you can definitely look at solving it, but ये जो है ना, multiple ways to do it. But I will say, if you are not clear what is to be done, there is a pattern question. Pattern का क्या मतलब होता है? Look at the smaller number, see the logic based on that, and then try to get the answer from there. So from here, if you look at this, the sum of all the digits of this number, what is it going to be? Okay. So what is this? 10 to the power 50, यानी 1 के बाद 50 0. Okay. This is 10 to power 50. Then we have 10 to power 25, which means after 1 there will be 25 zeros. And then you have 123. Okay. So this plus this minus 123. यही आएगा ना. तो छोटा नंबर ट्राई कर लो. इसको कई तरीके करने के, but if you are getting stuck and you don't understand this, so you could easily do what I'm saying is just try out for the smaller number. That means I'll say, okay, minus 123 है, minus 123 plus, let me just add one more zero. Okay. Or yeah, just try with this. It will tell you what will happen. Let's see what happens here. Okay, this minus 120 is 7. So if I just put here one carry over hoga 10 minus 2 8
7 9 minus 2
9 minus 2 7 sorry and 8 7 7. Then you'll have 0. Sorry, now 9 aega, and what will happen here? This will also be
0 0.
Okay. So what is this telling you? This is telling you that till this point, all these are going to be, so last 3 are going to be 8 7 7, and how many are these? Out of 25, 3 are gone. The balance 22 will be 9s. Okay, and then you'll have a one before that also. So 22 9 आएंगे, ये आएगा इसके अंदर. ठीक है. So that is one simple way you could have looked at. छोटा pattern उठा के देख लेते हैं. However, इसमें एक चीज जो और देख सकते थे, though it did not give us the answer. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of the digit sum method. Let's say 523 plus 238. इसको add करूंगा तो क्या आएगा? Let's see, what is the digit sum of this? 5 plus 2 10 and 3 13. 13 means 1 plus 3 4. This is 3 and 2 5. 5 to 7 and 3 10. Yeah, how stupid of me. 3 plus 2 5 and 8 13. 13 यहाँ पे है 4. So I'll say that digit sum of this sum will also be 5. Okay, so 8 plus 3 11. 3 plus 2 5 and 1 6, and 5 plus 2 7. Okay, 7 6 13 and 1 14. Digit sum is 14, which is nothing but 5. I could have used digit sum here also. What is the digit sum of 10 to power 50? It is 1 followed by 50 zeros. So digit sum will be 1. Digit sum of 10 to power 25, similarly 1. Digit sum of this 3 to 5 and 1 6. So what will be the digit sum of this? Minus 4. Digit sum minus 4 का क्या मतलब हुआ? This means implies the digit sum of 9 minus 4. Okay. So you add, when you get a negative digit sum, add 9 to it. So the digit sum effectively is 5. So I can say the digit sum of this number has to be equal to 5. Look at the choices. Digit sum 5. 5 5 10 and 2 12, which is 3, wrong choice. 2 3 4 is going to be 9, wrong choice. 2 1 2 5. So we are stuck with 2 choices, but end of the day, this did not help us. There might be some other questions, so which is why I wanted to introduce the concept of digit sum to you so that you can in future do it. Okay, ये बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर लिया है. You could even have done an approximation. Okay, you could even have done an approximation. That if I'm looking at it, it is, forget about this for a minute. Just look at this, 10 to power 25 minus 123. Okay, how much is this going to be? We said after all we are going to do 877 tha na? And then you have 9s. How many 9s? 22. Okay, so you can even say this is about 200, and 8 plus 7 15 7 22, so about 220 के आसपास आंसर होना चाहिए है. This is the one. Or you could have said do this, so it is on account of this 1. On account is 22 plus 9 is going to be 198 plus 15 22. 1 plus 198 plus 22. Okay.
That is true.
But this is a question that should have been definitely attempted. Only 1/3 of the population attempted it, but पक्का करने वाला था. छोटा नंबर उठाओ, पैटर्न आइडेंटिफाई करो, आंसर निकालो, is what you could have easily done. यार ये सवाल ना बहुत अच्छा लगा था मुझे. This is a very very good question because देखते ही छोड़ दिया. Please look at the choices. Okay, This type of question came in CAT 23, if I remember correctly, but the choices were far apart, so I just did an approximation and got the answer. In this question, the choices are very close. What did I do in that particular paper? There I said, the question is saying x square plus 1 by x square is equal to 25. So I said x has to be almost equal to 5. Because if x is 5, this becomes 25, 1 by 5, so it will be 4.99, 4.98, something like that. Okay. So agar 1 by 25 kitna hoga? 0.04. So if x is 5, what does it become? 25 plus 1 by 25, 0.04. The value becomes 25.04. So answer 5 se thoda sa kam hoga. So I can do my calculation by saying that if I take x equal to 5, that means what is the value of this going to be? X to power, this should be equal to 5 to power 7. I said my answer should be approximately 5 to power 7. Okay. However, and okay, let me say my answer should be slightly less than 5 to power 7. Because x has to be slightly less than 5. So x to power 7 plus 1 by x to power 7, x to power 7 should be approximately this thing, or my answer should be slightly less than this. So kitna hota 5 to power 7 एक बार check कर लेगा. Okay, given that the choices are very close, मैंने किया ही नहीं कुछ. To me, this is a question not worth attempting. Even if I know how to attempt, but the time amount it will take is going to be very, very high.
78,125.
Answer is 78,125. शशांक किसी एक को मल्टीप्लाई करके देख लेगा कितना है? 1.7 under root 3 into let's say 44850.
448
under root 3. 1.732 कर दे.
77,680.
Now all of these are again difference कितना है? 3 root 3 ऐड करूंगा इसमें तो इतना again another 5. Okay, this will be again slightly more, this will be slightly low. So this should be about 77685. This should be about
690.
690, and this will be 77695. So the choices are so close कि कोई मतलब ही नहीं था करने का. The only way of doing this question is चुपचाप equation बनाओ, solve करो. Okay, so if you remember that x plus 1 by x whole square is equal to x square plus 1 by x square plus 2. I know this is 25, so that means this will become 27. Okay. Similarly, you will have to find x square. Okay, it will be equal to 25 square, which is 625. So this is x to power 4 plus 1 by x to power 4 plus 2. This is equal to 625. So you have got this. You find ये आ गया है x cube to x cube to the plus 1 by x cube निकालो, calculate करो. So this was a sequential process that you would adopt. Not worth attempting is my thing. This is a question which should not be looked at in the paper. अच्छा सवाल है छोड़ने के लिए, बहुत जल्दी छोड़ सकते हो. Okay. On the contrary, this is a round 1 question. इसको पक्का करना था. And let's see how the population did this question. Okay, so this is a question all you need to do is compare the powers. Okay, look at this. Left hand side, right hand side, we have to compare. Okay, we have to compare these two only. Based on that, we can get the answer. Okay, because 12 is nothing but 2 square into 3 raised to power 12x. Then we have 4 is 2 square into 24x plus 12, and 5 is not 5 to power 2y. And right hand side में क्या है? 8 to 8 is nothing but 2 cube. 20 is 4 into 5 or 2 square into 5 raised to power 12x. And 243 is 3 to power 5, 3 cube is 27, 3 to power 4 81, 3 to power 5 243. So this is okay. इसको ठीक कर दूं, गलती ना हो जाए. We need the values of x, y, z. Compare. Start with 5. Let's look at 5 first. 5 to power 2y is equal to, we have 5 only here. So what do we get? If I look at just 5 to power 2y has to be equal to 5 to power 12x. So I can straight away say, comparing the powers of 5, I can say 2y should be equal to 12x or y is equal to 6x. Next, compare either 2 or 3. So let's compare the powers of 2. Okay. So y equal to 6x इधर लिख देता हूं मैं, फिर बाद में आ जाएंगे. Okay. Now look at the powers of 2. यहाँ पे क्या है? 2 squared to power 12x, that means 24x. 2 to power 24x. This is going to be plus 48x plus 24. 2 squared to power 24x plus 24. That means 2 to power 48x plus 24. Left hand side done. Right hand side में क्या आ रहा है? Okay. 4z 2 cube, so 12z. And 2 square is 24x. Okay, so what do we get out here? So this 24 and 24 go, this is 24x, sorry. Okay, 24x. Okay, so if I cancel this 24x, I can cancel this 24x also. Okay, so I can say 24x minus 12z minus 24x is equal to 24, or z minus 2x is equal to 2. Okay. Third thing, look at the power of 3. अब power of 3 को देख लेते हैं. Power of 3 क्या है यहाँ पे? 3 to power 12x, that means 12x. I don't have 3 here, I don't have 3 here. Actually 3 पहले देखना चाहिए था.
15x minus 30.
15x minus 30 on the right hand side. So 3x is equal to 30 or x is equal to 10. So we are looking at values of x, y, z. X is coming out to be 10. Y is equal to 6x, so y becomes equal to 60. And what is z going to be? Z minus 2x is equal to 2.
So z is equal to 22.
22. गलती है 60, 80, 70, 92 आता है आंसर. याद है क्या? मेरे को याद नहीं है, बट मेरे को लगता है कहीं गलती कर दी है इसके अंदर, बट ठीक है, जस्ट चेक इसको. लेट मी लुक एट द 10 and 60 लोग. ओके, z को एक बार देख लेते हैं. सो लेट मी लुक एट द पावर ऑफ 2 एक बार. पावर ऑफ 2 में कहां पे आ रही है गलती? दिस इज 2 स्क्वायर 4 into 3. ओके ओके, सो दिस इज 24x. हाँ, ये x नहीं चिपकाया ना यहाँ पे, यहाँ गलती कर दी मैंने. I'll just do this part again. Z is the wrong value, so let me get that right. Okay, this had to be 24x plus 24x plus 24. Sorry.
48x plus 24.
This should be equal to, on this side we have 2 to power 12z.
12z plus 24x. That's it.
That's it. So this 24x go away. Okay. So 40x. Okay. So if I divide both by 2, 4x plus 2 is equal to z.
42.
X is equal to 40. Z is equal to 42. वही कह रहा था 22 तो याद नहीं आ रहा था. So the answer is going to be 112. This is a round 1 question. And never rush to round 1 questions. बहुत बार गलती कहते हैं. When you rush to round 1 question, calculation mistakes happen, and you saw an example of that out here also. Okay. Okay.
Again, a standard question of time and work. Team ABC consists 5, 8, and if you look at this question, the attempts are low. लेकिन अगेन द प्रॉब्लम इज इफ यू लुक एट अदर क्वेश्चंस जहां पे गलतियों के चांसेस ज्यादा हैं वहां पे अटेम्प्ट ठीक ठाक से हैं, एक्यूरेसी कम है. लेकिन एंड के जो क्वेश्चन है जहां पे एक्यूरेसी हाई है वहां पे भी अटेम्प्ट कम है. नाउ दिस इज समथिंग आई थिंक वी नीड टू वरी अबाउट.
या ओके, सो ABC consists of 5, 8, 10 members respectively. such that each member within a team is equally productive. Working separately, teams A, B, C can complete a certain job in 40 hours, 50 hours, and 4 hours respectively. 2 members from team A, 3 members from B, and 1 from team C together start the job. And the member from C leaves after 23 hours. यानी 23 घंटे तीनों सबने मिलके काम किया. The number of additional members from team B that would be required to replace the members from team C to finish the job in next 1 hour is how many? Okay. So if you look at team A, B, and C, how many members are there?
That's at this.
5, 8, 10. And they can finish the work in
40, 50, and 4 hours.
40 hours, 50 hours, and 4 hours. So the total number of man hours or woman hours or people hours required will be 200 hours. There's a work of 200, let's say man hours लिख देते हैं, बुरा मत मानना. Okay. 440. Okay. So let us assume the amount of work is 400 units. Okay. If we assume amount of work is 400 units, what does that mean? Each person out here will do 2 units per hour. So the amount of work done by each member of A is 2 units per hour. Amount of work done by each member of B is 1 unit per hour.
And for C,
and amount of work done by each member of C is 10 units per hour. Okay. Now what is happening? For 23 hours, all 3 of them work together. Okay. The amount of work is 400 units.
3 members.
अच्छा, हाँ, all of them work. But इसमें जो है, we are looking at 3 members from A.
No. 2 from A,
Sorry,
3 from
2
B.
from A, 3 from B, and 1 from C. So 2 from A will do 4 units per hour. 3 from B will do 3 units per hour. And 1 from C will do
10 units per hour.
Okay. So this becomes how much?
70. और ये सब लोग 23 hours काम कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
So
2 from A, 3 from B, and 1 from C. This is fine. So
they are working for 23 hours.
4, 6,
so
7.
total work done will be 17 into 23.
So the total work done in 23 hours will be 23 hours into 17 units per hour. कितना आ जाता है?
391.
391. So 391 units are done and 9 units of work is left. In the next 1 hour, 4 units of work will be done by these 2 members of A. 3 units of work will be done by 3 members of B. So another 7 units gone, 2 units left, and these 2 units have to be done by more members from B. Each member from B will do 1 unit per hour. So I need 2 members from B to finish the work. Okay. Now this looks lengthy, but this is a standard question of time and work. थोड़ा इसमें calculation बढ़ा दिया, lengthy कर दिया है, वो सही है. But this is a standard question of time and work. This is a difficult question, and many students who have attempted have got it wrong. Only 16% of 50, roughly about 7.5 to 8% students have got it right. Okay, and वो भी time बहुत लगाया होगा for the simple reason the calculation method many students use in this kind of question is wrong. Most students don't use deviation method or the assume mean method of calculating the average, and that is why time ज़्यादा लगता है. Otherwise, this can be made very, very simple question. Okay, so to me it is a round 1 question. Left to myself, I would do it in round 1. For most of the students, it is going to be round 2 or not to be attempted question, and data भी यही बताता है. Okay, so please note the method. This method will be important for you. In a school with 1,500 students, each student chooses any one of the streams out of science, arts, and commerce by paying a fees of 1,100, 1,000, and 800 respectively. The total fees paid by each student is 15,500. By all students is 15,50,000. Sorry. Number of science students is not more than number of art students. Then the maximum possible number of science students in the school is how much? Okay. Now, if I want to maximize the number of science students, and the number of science students is less than or equal to art students, so क्या बोलूँगा? Let science and arts be same number of students. Okay. So we have science students, art students, and commerce students. So if I say there are X here, there will be X here also because maximize science को करना है तो arts तो उसके बराबर ही हो जाएगा. And total number of students is 1,500. So this should be 1500 minus 2x. Okay, this is the number of students. Okay, and what is the fees each of them are paying?
1100.
नहीं यार 0 हटा दो. ये 11 रुपए दे रहा है, ये 10 रुपए दे रहा है, ये 8 रुपए दे रहा है. Okay, okay. Now, so what is the total fees? Okay.
11x, 10x.
Okay. Total fees would be 11x, 10x, and this much. Okay, but we will not go by that. So, what is the average fees paid? Every science student is paying 11 rupees. Every art student is paying 10 rupees. Every commerce student is paying 8 rupees. What is the average fees paid? The total fees paid is 15. इसमें 2 zeros हटा दिए ना हमने, तो इधर भी 2 zeros हटा दो. 15,500. This is the total fees paid by how many students? 1500 students. What is this? 10.33. 15 into 10 is 150, so 10, 1 by 3 or 10.33. So I can say the average fees paid is 10.33. Or if you want to work in terms of decimals, you can also do that 31 by 3. But to me, that is fine. 10.33 is the average fees paid. Okay. So what is the deviation here? Assume mean method का average करते हैं, मैं वही कर रहा हूँ. Deviation here is 11 minus 10.33, the deviation of 2 by 3 per student. Each student of science has paid 2 by 3 rupees extra. There are x students, so the total deviation will be 2 by 3x. Okay. What is the deviation here? Every art student is paying 0.33 or 1/3 of x less than the average. So the deviation is minus 1 by 3 into x. And what is the deviation here? What is the deviation here? 2.33. 2.33 becomes 7 by 3. So every commerce student is paying 7 by 3 less than the average. So minus 7 by 3. For how many people? For 1500 minus 2x. The sum of deviation has to be equal to 0. Okay? The sum of deviation has to be equal to 0. That's the basic rule of averages. That sum of deviation from the average should be 0. Average to 10.33. So what do we get? 2 by 3x.
So ये भी 1 by 3 minus 1 by 3x हो जाएगा. This is 2 by 3x. This is minus 1
हाँ एक करके पूरा कर देते हैं. इसमें कोई बात नहीं. Just because this is not a method that students are comfortable or aware of, so let me just do the complete thing. Minus आसान करते हैं इसको. Negative deviation equal to positive deviation equal to 7 by 3. तीन को तो हटा देते हैं. So this is 2x minus x, x. 7 into 1500 is
10,500.
10,015 into 705, so 10,500 minus 14x. Okay, minus 14x. So
15x comes out to be.
हाँ, इसको मेरी आदत नहीं, तुमने बोल दिया, but मैं normally ऐसे ही लिख देता हूँ. I don't write the calculation. I do the calculation always in the last step. Minus 14x. Okay, so what does that mean? 15x is equal to 7 into 1500, or x will be equal to 7 into 1500 upon 15. X equal to
700.
700. Okay, the answer should be 700. Now please note down this deviation method. बहुत ही useful method है. ये जुगाड़ लोग normally नहीं apply करते हैं. They start calculating the complete thing. But averages question means you should be using deviation. If you are not using deviation in averages question, you will invariably take more time to solve the question. Okay. Simple question of, but again 1/3 of the population did not look at the question, और जिन्होंने किया उनमें भी आधों ने गलत कर दिया है. Arithmetic progression, the sum of 4th, 7th and the sum of 4th, 7th and 10th term is 99. The sum of 4th 14 terms is 497. So what is the sum of first 5 terms? इसको बहुत आसान है ना. T4, what students will do? A plus 3D plus A plus 6D plus A plus 9D equal to 99. गलत नहीं है, बेवकूफी है. You are wasting time. These are 4 plus 3, 7, 7 plus 3, 10. So the middle term will be the average of these 3. So 7 term T7 has to be the average. So what is T7? A plus 6G. So we are getting first equation A plus 6G is equal to 33. Sum of 14 terms is 497. 14 terms will be 2A. Rather, let me. Okay. n by 2, which is 14 by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, 13d, is equal to 497. And we can even say 2a plus 13d is equal to 497 by 7. So which becomes 71. So we can say 2a plus 13d is equal to कितना है 71. Two equation, two variable निकाल लोगे ना सब कुछ. This is not a question which should be getting wrong. How can 60% students get it wrong is the question. All you need to do is, so we have 2a plus 13d equal to 71. Double कर दो इसको. 2a plus 12d equal to 66. Subtract. d equal to 5. If d equal to 5 here, got put d equal to 5 here. That means a is equal to 3. If d is 5, 6d becomes 30. A plus 30 is 33. A should be 3. What is the sum of first 5 terms? N by 2 into 2a. A कितना 3 था ना?
A 3 था.
Plus n minus 1, 5 minus 4 into d. This should be the answer. 20, 26, 13, 13 into 5, 65 आ जाएगा आंसर. No, you cannot get this kind of a question wrong. अगर ये नहीं आता तो यानी तुम्हें AP का कुछ भी नहीं मालूम है. इससे आसान सवाल AP का मिलना मुश्किल होता है.
This can be solved by a different approach as well. That whatever sir has said, that average of 4th, 7th and 10th term is 99. So 7th term is directly 33, and that's what you can get. Now, what other thing that can be done? That the sum of first 14 terms that is given to you as 497. So what is the average of 14 terms? That is 497 divided by 14, or I would say that is going to be
35.5.
35.5. Now the average of 14th terms can also be said as T7 plus T8 divided by 2.
Absolutely.
And that is equal to 71 by 2. You already know T7, that is 33. So this becomes 38. So common difference comes out to be 5.
Yeah.
So this is how you can get the answer very quickly in this.
Once you आगे लेके चलो ना फिर. So you found T7 as 66. And do you know D? So T6 कितना होगा? -5. 61.
61.
T5 56. लिख के ऐड कभी कर सकते हो पांचों को. मेरा बेसिक चीज ये गलत कैसे किया है सवाल. मेरे को प्रॉब्लम इस पे है कि दिस क्वेश्चन शुड नॉट बी रॉन्ग इन एनी बाय एनी स्ट्रेच ऑफ इमेजिनेशन. ये एक सवाल में ना गलती का कारण मैं बताता हूं क्या है. दिस क्वेश्चन मेनी पीपल आर गेटिंग रॉन्ग, और though it's a very very easy question, is the easiest, again one of the easiest question of time and work or time speed distance that you can get. Okay, the question is, the data is given in hours, answer has been asked in minutes. Problem ये है लोगों ने, and so the ground rule you need to remember, if the question is asking you the answer in minutes, do your calculation in minutes only. Okay.
So Ankita walks from A to C via B. So basically important part is this, कि वो directly A से C तो जा रही है, लेकिन B में कहीं भी एक point है. Now it runs back through the same route at a speed 40% more than. So again, whenever I see these kind of questions, whenever I see these kind of questions, I always think in terms of ratio. So ये जो है, I'm sorry, 40% को मैं 2/5 लिखूंगा. So if initial speed is 5, then at returning her speed should be 7. A से B जब वो जा रही है, अगर उसकी स्पीड 5 है, A से B जाते टाइम, so A से B जाते टाइम अगर उसकी स्पीड 5 है, तो वापस आते टाइम उसकी स्पीड 7 होनी चाहिए, and that's what it is saying. ठीक है. And runs back. So basically running speed is 7 and walking speed is 5. She takes exactly 3 hours 30 minutes to walk from B to C. तो ये 3 hours का मतलब
210
210 आएगा.
Please remember, you should be working in terms of minutes because the question is asking the value in terms of minutes.
ये ratio of speed है.
And this is also 210 minutes. Okay. She takes exactly 3 hours 30 minutes to walk from B to C as well as from run to B to A. So in this also 210. Now the question it is asking is, question is asking the total time in minutes she would take to walk from B to A, to walk from B to A. So ये वाला चाहिए walking का मुझे, and to run from B to C. So I need the sum of these two. पेन से हो जाएगा शायद.
ये वाला क्वेश्चन में मुझे सबसे आसान चीज ये लगी कि ये वॉकिंग डिस्टेंस है, ये 210 है, ये रनिंग डिस्टेंस है, इसका भी टाइम 210 है. सो एक को 5/7 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, एक को 7/5 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दो, एंड बिकॉज बोथ द नंबर्स आर सेम, सो इट वोंट मेक अ डिफरेंस व्हिच नंबर इज व्हिच.
Absolutely. So all your answer I had to do is 210 into 5/7 plus 210 into 7/5. Okay. यही करना था इसमें. And the people who have made a mistake, they have made a mistake purely because they worked in terms of number of hours. 3.5 hours ले लिया, दिक्कत आएगी. Answer minutes में मांगा है, work in terms of minutes. Okay. Now just to be clear, because it is 210 each, it is becoming easy. But supposing it was not the same value, then we would have to do something. Let's say this was x and this was y. So the time here would have been 5/7 of y. Because walking में ले रहा है तो running में कम लेगा. And this is x, this will be 7/5 of x. So your answer would have been this. 7/5 of x plus 5/7 of y. यहाँ पे because x is equal to y, it does not matter. But this was there for you to save your time. Okay. So again, 7 into 30. 5 into 42. Okay. 30 into 5 is 150. 42 into 7, 280 plus 14, 294. 444 is the answer. Okay. So जिन्होंने नहीं किया सही वो शायद ये देखना भूल गए. Last question. जुवाड़ी बता दो सीधा.
So in a class of
figure बना दे.
Figure बना के. There is a class of 150 students. 75 students. Okay. So first of all, total number of students that are given to us are 150. 75 जो हैं वो physics पढ़ रहे हैं. Now attempt is very low. ठीक है. Accuracy is reasonable. 111 लोगों ने maths लिया. 40 students chose chemistry. All students chose at least one subject. Means none is zero. Means and again, there are some people who are choosing all three subjects. So basically this point is telling me this is a question of Venn diagram. मतलब सीधे सीधे डायग्राम बनाना पड़ेगा और 3 कैटेगरी हैं और उनमें ओवरलैप कुछ होगा. And that's what question is talking about. The number of students who chose, so basically there are a lot of things that are written here. So what I'm going to do, directly going to draw the diagram and trying to plug in the values over there. So total number of people, I have 150, none I know is 0. We got physics, that is 75. We have maths, that is 111. And we have chemistry, that is 40. And these are the informations that are given to us. The number of students who chose both physics and chemistry. So physics and chemistry is this. It's not physics and chemistry only. It's physics and chemistry is equal to number of students who chose both chemistry and maths. So basically this whole number is same as this whole number. So let's say this is A, this is B. So this is also going to be A because this total value should be equal to this total value. Okay. Now what does it say is, and this number is half of the students who chose both physics and maths. मतलब जो A plus B है वो total math और physics, that is this part, इसका half है. So basically what is going to be this part? That is going to be 2A plus 2B. This total part. मतलब ये वाली value जो होगी, that is going to be 2A plus B. And that's what we have right now. अब हमको क्या निकालना है? The maximum possible number of students who chose physics but not maths. मतलब physics but not maths, मतलब we are looking for this number. Let me
highlight this together.
So basically, we are looking for this particular number and what it can be. So what can be our conclusion? Maths में total 111 है, not maths में 39 से ज्यादा हो नहीं सकते, ये तो पहली बात है. So इसका मतलब 55 40 तो चलेगा. ठीक. Now second point is, we are looking for this number. What is this number? That is actually equal to 75 minus 2 times a plus b. 2 times a plus b जो होगा वो तो even होगा. 75 is an odd number. Odd number minus even number has to be odd number. इसका मतलब 30 भी नहीं हो सकता.
Okay, now this is the importance of looking at the choices. A simple thing called ki 150, my answer has to be less than equal to 150 minus 39. Sorry, 159, 50 minus 111. 39 से कम होना चाहिए. Two choices go away. And the second part is the answer has to be 75 minus twice of a plus b. So this is odd minus even. The answer has to be an odd number. If the answer has to be odd number, 30 cannot be the answer. एक choice बची, mark करो, आगे चलो. ये simple चीजें जो होती हैं, this is something one has to get used to. And when you are preparing for your November exam for CAT 26, please make sure you start working accordingly. Start looking at the choices also. Otherwise, you will always struggle as far as this paper is concerned. Okay. Now, if you go through this paper, इसमें हमने शुरू में डाला था, but if I look at the entire thing, we can look at all the questions again. But I'm sure now we realize that there are quite a few easy questions which you should have attempted and which students have missed out on, and there are quite a few difficult questions which should have been left but have been attempted by large number of students, and that is where the challenge is as far as this paper is concerned. Okay. So chalo, we'll stop here, and anything you need from us, my phone number is 9811155160, and my email ID is gp@careerlauncher.com. Okay, so that's it from our side. Thank you very much. All the best.